DP.
Dan Patrick.
Welcome to the Dan Patrick Show.
We are the most unathletically decorated show in radio history, I think.
America's most revered sports talk show.
Respect the position that you have.
But today, Dan Patrick and the four Danettes are not here. So sitting in for Dan Patrick and hosting the Dan Patrick Show, here's Steve Covino and Rich Davis.
Wow.
Yo.
Good morning. I'm still mopping the place down. Mop, mop, mop all day long. Mop, mop, mop while I sing my song.
What's up, buddy? How are you,
I'm
man?
wiping down the studios, not because people here are functified, because radio studios are the dirtiest places in the business. By the way, you're looking handsome, Rich. Look at us.
Thanks,
Look at us with our USA pride.
we got our bootleg USA jerseys from CVS, thanks to Iowa Sam.
Bootleg? What are you talking about?
USA.
This is the look right here. Iowa Sam, I have a thought on you. Iowa Sam is on the Glockenspiel, and we're in for Dan Patrick, day 2 of the DP3, the Dan Patrick hat trick, with super producer Danny G. What up, Danny G?
Yay.
877-99 on Fox. Danny G's on standby. He's rocking the USA colors. The pride is here. We're feeling it today. And, yeah, USA with the big win yesterday. Controversial win, so, yeah, we'll talk a little bit about it. Covino and Rich, not soccer experts, but we got the fever, dude. Somebody get us the tussin'. Because we got the fever, dude. We got the soccer World Cup fever. And the USA orale, fever. And, Rich, I want to welcome everybody to what we do. We are on Fox Sports Radio Monday through Friday, right? But now we're hitting all these different markets, all these different cities. Shout out to the affiliates. Hey, we do this Monday through Friday, 2 to 4 on the West, 5 to 7 on the East. And everything's at Covino and Rich, and we're streaming live. All of our shows are on YouTube, at Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube. We're chatting it up right now. But on Thursdays, we throw it back, we get everybody involved, and we reminisce because that's kind of fun to live in nostalgia. But remember, as Tony Soprano said, Rich, remember when is the lowest form of conversation.
Hey, Tom, no offense, Tom, but
hey.
when?
Oh, gabagool. So woke up this morning, got some gabagool, and we came up with an idea for later today. So I want to give the Dan Patrick crew a head start. Start thinking about the biggest comebacks in sports and entertainment because it's somebody's birthday today, and we'll talk about it and celebrate. Old school Win 50 hits. We do that on our show on Thursdays. But how you feeling, man? Tell everybody where you're at.
I'm down in Texas for the 4th of July only because is there a better place in the United States than Texas for the 4th? I don't think so.
Is that why you're so rootin' and tootin' in America all of a sudden?
I'm rooting, I'm tooting, I'm tired as hell, but I'm ready, I'm pumped up. I got my Team USA bootleg jersey on, like I said. But I gotta tell you this. As I see you wipe down the studio like it's 2020 and you're COVID boy with wet wipes and napkins over there.
That sort of set
Clorox
the standard.
wipes.
Yeah, I wasn't always that way, but radio studios need a wipe down because you got people, loudmouths spitting into the microphone all day, and yeah, it's gross. Yeah, exactly.
Well, while you wipe it down, I do want to give everyone a 4th of July travel heads up. And I did notice this when I was at the airport last night. They say the dirtiest places and things to touch are office keyboards. You ever take a keyboard at the office and hold it upside down and tap it, and everyone's crumbs from the last 15 years fall out of the keyboard?
Isn't that how trail mix was invented?
No, that's when Dad went in the backseat of a car and shook out his kid's car seat. Right?
I know the origins, bro.
They say a keyboard at an office, which is disgusting.
Especially if a guy with a beard rocks that keyboard. There's like beard pubes all inside. There's a work boot stuck in there, an old rubber tire. There's like
is that a license plate?
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. Grime too. Rick Grimes is in there.
So
hey, the Lakers signed him yesterday.
Oh yeah, a keyboard at the workplace. But you always say a radio studio is pretty gross. A toilet bowl, and you know what they say? Those trays at TSA at the airport, because they never clean them. Danny G, I know you're a little bit of a germaphobe with your neck pillow and sunglasses and, blankie. My blanket, boo-hoo.
Man, get that right. It's a Dodgers blankie.
But that's
Dodgers
what sucks
blanket.
about when Danny G has to take off his Dodgers hoodie and throw it in that disgusting bin that's never clean. Because people are putting their weak-ass dirty shoes in that thing all day for years and years. That's what it is. I thought you were going to say the dirtiest thing ever were high school pennies. Because they never clean those either.
High school pennies are on the top 10 list. Don't worry, Covino. But
That's what we're wearing right now. It feels like we're wearing them.
They're recycled pennies. That's why they have a little odor to them.
Yeah, they're recycled pennies.
Yeah.
That's what
I
these
don't
are,
know,
these cheap jerseys.
Yeah, that's what they're made. You're right. They say that those bins at the airport are never cleaned. And when you think about it, you put your dirty-ass shoes in, you put your belongings, and then it gets to the end of the little carousel, and it goes to that little bin, and they just do it again. And they're saying they never clean them.
Well, where there's crisis, there's opportunity, and I feel like any young kid out there with a power washer should start a little business and get in cahoots with the airports and make a difference and get on this because it seems like a problem. Well, thanks for the fun fact, Rich. I know Rich is traveling. He's a traveling man, and he's traveling more than James Harden, more than LeBron James.
Hey,
and where is LeBron James traveling? We're going to talk him, too, because there's like so much debate and controversy going on about LeBron James and his, I guess, his status with the not his status, his
legacy
with the Lakers. That's
status.
It.
What they used to say
I was thinking
on,
stature. I don't know.
What did they say back in the day? It's complicated. Yeah, it's freaking complicated. So we're going to get to LeBron, but I want to ask you a question as we get into the meat of the show. In for the great Dan Patrick, Covino and Rich. What is in your mind force and malice? Because I'm headed to the airport yesterday, and truth be told, I missed the second half of Team USA, and I'm watching on my phone, and I see everyone from athletes to celebrities to everyday doofuses.
Force and Malice sounds like a hip hop group from the '90s. That's
Danny G used to produce Force
sounds
and
like
Malice.
they opened up for Smith and Wesson back in the day.
Yeah, weren't they the opening act for Run DMC?
They opened up for Nice and Smooth, hip hop junkies.
Force and Malice not only is a great name for a hip-hop duo, but that is what they say is necessary.
Rich, weren't you in a hip-hop group called Nerdy by Nature? Yo,
hey,
man.
Go, bro.
I know.
Go, man.
You know what? I couldn't sleep last night. I was thinking about that all night long.
No, Rich was in the Young Black Teenagers.
Yeah, he was. He was the whitest guy.
Force and Malice. I'm so white, I'm on the Lakers.
Yeah, that's how white he is.
So there's apparently force and malice needed to give someone a red card. And I feel like the world yesterday responded as if they were all football experts as to, that's not a red card. Wait, this dude's suspended? I don't know what was forceful, and I don't know what was malice, but at full speed, the play in question sometimes wouldn't even get a yellow card is what I'm reading and what I'm thinking. Because, again, we can't all pretend to be football, soccer experts.
No, but USA did get the win. That's first mostly the most important here over Bosnia. So congrats to them. And it was a lot of fun, man. It was a really fun game. That's why we came in rocking our CVS jerseys, which do deserve some explanation. We'll get to that. What's up, Danny G? Danny G, were you watching?
Oh, yeah, I watched every minute.
Sam, were you watching?
Absolutely. I was texting you guys during it.
What were your thoughts? Were you here still when that was going on? Like, what was the reaction? Because social media's reaction was like, man, that is insane. How could that be a red card?
Yeah, so, like, they're only supposed to use the VAR. From what I read, they're only supposed to use the VAR for, like, when they slow it down and put it in still shot or in slow. That's only for, like, point of contact for determining who's. So, like, when they presented the still shot or whatever to the ref on the field, I mean, stop me if I'm wrong here, but like that he was like that wasn't the right thing. The right way you use VAR there. So he was just going for the ball and he hit the guy's ankle.
Wasn't looking at him.
No,
so it didn't look intentional.
It wasn't like extra malicious. Like it was just a play on the ball, and it did not deserve a red card.
More malicious intent in the NBA Finals when Wemby was stomping on people and not getting even a foul call.
Go. If we were a duo, would you be force or malice? Which would you be in our hip hop duo?
Force, yeah.
Force?
Yeah.
Okay. So, force and malice.
I mean, look at you. You're an outlaw, bro. You're malice.
Force and malice is what's
He'd be
needed.
phallus.
And I just got to...
Yeah, it has a better ring to it. Force and phallus. Yeah, that's a good one, Danny. We're going to roll with that.
But, Danny, I always think about in in sports, when a call is made and you have a chance to make it right, I don't think there's anything more frustrating than when they don't. Like in baseball, when they go to New York and you're like, oh, they clearly will be overturned, and it's not. Or they go to the booth in the NFL and you're like, wait, we saw his foot in bounds. Like, when they can't get it right, I feel like us as fans need further explanation. Like, I don't think you could just chalk it up to, as Sam said, the ref got maybe not the best look, red card. This determines a World Cup game in something that happens every 4 years. And this is apparently Team USA, one of their better players, right?
Yeah, very, very sticky situation, Rich. And now you're down a guy, an important piece of the puzzle moving forward. So it's just like any other sport, though. I think because the stakes are so high and everybody's tuning in, we're thinking they could change it or something. And that's not what's going to happen here. They've already said that. Like, it is what it is. They're not like, you know what? We're sorry, guys. Upon further review, they've already denied that option.
A weird, I'm not saying a pride thing, but
there's no appeal.
The idea of
the no appeal part is awful.
When you're in a marriage, a relationship, a business partnership, anything in life, if you make a mistake and it's very clear and it could be changed, you would change it, right?
Yeah, but they're not rolling with that. Like, we're being like sad baby Americans. Like, we're screaming not fair. And they're saying, well, tough tatas. That's really it.
Well, it's not fair.
Yeah, and then there's, again, there's always the controversy of FIFA's corrupt. That's nothing new, and that people are against the U.S. and they don't want us to win. And that becomes the narrative. I don't know how true that is. What do I know? I'm just a guy in a $10 CVS jersey.
I looked up
CVS USA jersey.
I looked up FIFA's disciplinary code. It says it cannot be reduced or overturned through appeal unless the ban is extended to more than one game.
Right. So it is, and you're going to hate this, is what it is. As the vatos say, eso sí que es, vato loco. It just is what it is.
But listen.
There's no changing it because we think. See, there's like an entitlement that a lot of casual Americans feel. It's like, well, that's not fair, and they're just like, well, it is.
Honestly, there's a question itself. Are we entitled little bitch?
Yeah,
US
a little bit.
Or
and then we're quick to go to conspiracy. And we're quick to say, that everybody's against us and FIFA doesn't want us to win and all that stuff. We've been great hosts. I don't think that's the case. I do think it's an unfair call. I do think it wasn't malicious. I think it was just he wasn't even looking at the dude.
A yellow card wasn't even pulled on the play.
There should have been maybe a yellow card.
In real time.
Even though, Rich, of that era, I think yellow card is the weakest of the bans. Maybe the most popular, but
I thought Ocean Avenue was a good.
I think it's like Sum 41, Newfound Glory. Yellow cards somewhere, down below.
Can I read this to you guys?
Sure.
So this was from ESPN last night. This is from someone I believe has a referee background. VAR made their recommendation. So that's a person who's using the video upstairs. It's actual person. VAR made their recommendation to the referee based on slow motion and still replays, which is not aligned with VAR protocols, as these should be used for only point of contact purposes in a red card tackle situation. Once at the screen, however, it would have been a surprise if the referee on the field did not send off Balogun, considering the pictures he was presented by VAR being like, oh, he stuck his cleats right in the guy's ankle.
I mean, that is what happened, though, and it did look vicious.
It looked bad if it was stopped or slowed down, but in real time, it didn't.
Yeah, but
I mean, that's
what
a lot of people came to that
that's
conclusion.
The problem. We can't speak out of both sides of our mouth, too, because people say that about Caitlin Clark, too, and it's like, hey, regardless, she still had a fist in her neck. Yeah, but in real time, it wasn't as bad. No, the facts still remain. It was bad. It's just what was the intent is what's in question,
but
right?
They showed Messi doing the same thing to another guy. He didn't even get a yellow card for that.
Dude, I think it's a matter of intent. And I do think it was bad. I do think we saw that guy's whole ankle roll. Like Balogun like stomped him with his cleat right into the back of the ankle. And yeah, that's bad. But there was no intent there, no malicious intent. It was not done deliberately. I think that's the difference here.
Well, that's the difference in everything in society. When someone says or does the wrong thing,
And again, there's proof that he wasn't even looking at at him in that direction when it happened.
An athlete, a comedian, someone says something questionable. Covino and I always say it's funny how no one ever looks at intent. They look at result. And, dude, someone could say something questionable, and you're like, yo, if they didn't mean it, if the intent wasn't there, I don't understand how this play could just be upheld. Like, one dude decided, hey, let's take a look, and now Balogun's out for a game?
You're basically saying in this world of 2026 where we all could see, we all have social media, we all could stop
right.
and watch the replay. If we can get it right, how do they not use the technology available and the ways in which we appreciate sports nowadays and use it on the biggest stage and biggest worldwide platform in sports, which is the World Cup? I get what you're saying.
I have two examples for you. One, we'll speak to you because you're a Yankees fan. I'm sorry they've lost 7 in a row. Sorry, not sorry.
It's the weakest.
Do you remember that?
It's
play?
the June swoon, but too bad it's July 2nd. 7 in a
remember
row.
Remember that play where Aaron Boone got thrown out of the game because someone in the crowd was chirping at the umpire? And Aaron Boone's like, what the hell? I didn't even say a word. And everything replays everything that Aaron Boone didn't say anything. If you could get it right, why are you sticking to your guns?
I mean,
it's your worst trait.
Join the FIFA council and make a change, Rich. I don't know what to tell you.
Cope, you're the first guy to say
it is what
that.
it is. That's
No,
just it. They make the call. There's no appeal, as Sam read to you, and that's just how it is. We can't say, hey, all right, do over. They don't hit the reset button in these moments.
But I'm just saying, we as a society.
You know what it is? You're just a soft American who's used to hitting the reset button, or you have a bad frame to start off your bowling game, and you're like, you know what? Let me do that over.
I don't know.
It happened, and they roll with it, and they don't take it back. Not in this situation.
But if there's proof of something, I can never understand. I saw a clip the other day. John Boy was breaking down. Some dude got ejected from a baseball game because the umpire, again, thought he said something and he didn't. If there's proof right there in the moment or something to overturn something, why would we not want that? The whole idea of replay, the whole idea of having the technology we have today is to what? Get it right. At a kid's little league or pony ball game, right? Covino, this is a good one. Every mom or dad, someone sets up something called Game Changer. And I guarantee millions of Dan Patrick audience members are like, yeah, I use Game Changer. If on Game Changer, let's say little Johnny gets called out because he missed second base, like, runner missed second, out. And 25 parents have on their phone, like, I have video right here of Johnny touching second base. Why would you be like, nope, I thought I saw it? Like, I don't get why. Like,
I think maybe because all right, how about this? Regardless of intent, it still happened, right? So maybe that's the way they're looking at it, and they don't want to go back on it. Like, all right, feedback's coming in, and we appreciate all the phone calls as we speculate. I think we need to focus on the victory here, right? We're focusing on the negative. The positive is we won.
And the Tillman kick.
Oh, awesome.
We won. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. We all got World Cup fever. So let's appreciate the victory. But, for example, if you got any opinions, 877-99 on Fox, 877-99 on Fox. Mercer Man hits us up. He says, it's an opinion. It might rub people the wrong way, but it was red card worthy. He goes on to say, this is on our...
You got a red card, and all we got were these $10 CVS shirts.
Zip it. You might get a brown card, bro.
You got the better deal.
Now, he also continues to say, and this is on our YouTube live chat. We're streaming, and you can chat live, youtube.com/@Covino and Rich FSR. The dude scraped his spikes down his whole entire leg, then stomped on his foot, stepped on his foot. Whether he meant to do it or not, you have to be in control of your feet.
I mean, that is true, I suppose.
And he said the ball was on the other guy's foot, so how's he going for the ball? But he really wasn't looking at that direction. But do you have to know where someone's foot is gonna be? You know the vicinity.
Maybe I'm a crybaby American.
Maybe these officials have we've seen it all. We know what was going on. You know,
Listen, maybe on sports talk radio and podcasts in other lands, they're all talking about how we're a bunch of crybabies. Like, oh,
yeah,
Team
I
USA,
don't believe that
all they do is
FIFA's out.
a bitch.
I don't believe that FIFA's out to get us.
We have,
Rich,
we
I don't.
have problems with referees in every sport.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, yep.
And they are trying to do their best, but sometimes they get things wrong.
Everybody does. But yeah, we're here to celebrate, Rich, and we'll get to your phone calls and feedback.
And nobody got me a shirt at CVS.
No.
It's Wilhelmina
Danny,
in the chat. She's like, Danny couldn't join the crew visually and be part of what's going on with the shirt.
You at least have. You're wearing like you.
I did the color scheme.
Yeah, you were thinking ahead.
But I went to my local CVS. They were sold out. They did not have a shirt. Rich found.
It's a hot item, dude.
Yeah, Rich found
These are
two.
hard to find, kind of.
Rich found one for him and Covino at his local CVS.
Yeah,
Danny, there was a
Danny, you're at least on the same
one.
page here.
Danny, there was a third one. Would you have been okay if I bought you the men's small that they had left?
Yeah, for my left thigh.
Yeah, for his 2-year-old. People are like, go to Dick's Sporting Goods and get an official jersey, and we were like, nah.
They're not going to have these knockoff babies.
Yeah, no, we go to CVS to buy ours. CVS $10 specials. But in reality, you know what it is? Iowa Sam, if you missed it yesterday, Iowa Sam was wearing his. And we're like, what is that? So in solidarity, it's kind of like when Ernie went in his pants. In solidarity, we're all wearing these jerseys. We're like, you know what, Sam? You're not going to be the only guy. In fact, you're a trendsetter. So we're all rocking them today in unison in celebration of Team USA's victory.
Well,
anyway, we expressed how upset I think the world seems to be, or America seems to be, on that call, the red card, because it affects you moving forward. What are your thoughts on it? How do we handle it? Okay? I think it's time for people to step up. That's just how it is.
If wearing a bootleg jersey from CVS is cool, consider us Miles Davis.
I'll give you one quick example to think about, Rich. It's like when my girlfriend says to me, God forbid something ever happened to me, you would starve to death. You know what I say? No. I'd be just fine. I mean, I'd be sad if something happened to you, but I'd survive. I'd be okay.
You'd
know
have
why?
to make your own scrambled eggs.
No, because people step up. If someone goes down, guess who has to make their own scrambled eggs? Me. Other people step up. This is an opportunity for other people to step up.
Steve, I love your optimism, but once the shine of the victory kind of faded, or like you're thinking about the next game against Belgium, you're frustrated if you're rooting for the USA because you haven't been at full strength since the first game against Paraguay, where Pulisic left with a calf injury, and then now you have Balogun now can't play against Belgium. So it's like they haven't been full strength, and it's just frustrating because you're like, this is not fair for the
know
full
Balogun's
experience.
the difference maker, but what happens even in regular American football, right? Your players are
Next
hurt.
man
Guess
up.
what? Next man up because everybody's players are hurt. So it's just a tough situation.
And if we
that we're
lose to a country that's best known for their waffles, then we got bigger problems. Should we? Are we favored to beat Belgium?
Yeah,
I'm
you got to
guessing
look at it this way, guys. This is a rally cry. People pull together. Power in numbers. They're like, now they got something to play for and be fired up even more about.
USA.
Not that anyone needed added motivation, but let it motivate them.
Well, hey, we got more thoughts on not only the World Cup, but there's a big wedding in the world of celebrity and sports. And I had a question about going to a wedding where you don't really know the people involved. There's a story involving Taylor Swift and the Knicks we're going to get to. Plus, we're going to throw it back, go old school. Stephen A. saying some dumb stuff Covino's mad about. We're going to get to a bunch.
Okay,
all
fine.
right here. Covino Rich in for the great Dan Patrick.
Now, the Cup knockout round is now, and DraftKings has you covered for every single match. The DraftKings app is now available in all 50 states and includes all markets, bringing the game straight to your fingertips wherever you are.
New DraftKings customers sign up with code PATRICK, spend $5 and you get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code PATRICK in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Connecticut. Call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus. Void in Canada. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involves risk of loss. Availability varies. Bet to get bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Trade to get $50 in predictions dollars that expire in 1 year, issued every 7 days via click-to-claim for 21 days. One non-withdrawable reward redeemable. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends July 19th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Hey, we're Covino and Rich from Fox Sports Radio, and you watch the drivers.
You watch the cars.
But these are the people that make race day happen.
Veterans and military families you've never heard of.
This is Unsung Heroes. Take a look.
Around the track, there are military veterans who never stopped serving, only changed uniforms.
There are definitely similarities between the NASCAR industry and the military.
You have the ability to work as a team. That's a big part of what you learn while you're in the military.
I learned from the military, communication is how to convey the point and still get the mission done.
I learned it's just adapting on the fly to the situations that are presented during the race.
At NASCAR, veterans help keep the race moving on the track. Across the country, they're answering another call to serve in local communities. Vet the Vote is a national campaign recruiting veterans and military family members to serve again as poll workers in their state and local elections.
It's kind of nice to continue to give back for a better America for our kids and everybody around us.
Learn more and continue your service at vetv.vote/NASCAR.
I feel that the sentiment is, and I can understand that he never really felt like a Laker. He just felt like LeBron in a Lakers uniform.
Like an outsider.
He did, right? A little bit. And that's not to take away from the championship. I'm the first guy to be like, yo, he won, and the bubble was just as difficult, if not more difficult, than any other championship. So he won. Stop trying to minimize and diminish what he accomplished. And it wasn't just the championship. He turned the organization around. He made the playoff. What was his career stats, Danny G, with the Lakers?
Let me get that pulled up here.
You think he has it in front of him?
He's the biggest Lakers fan I know.
Yeah,
of course,
340 and 220.
No. As far as playoff
overall playoff series record with the Lakers, 7 series wins, 5 series losses. You talked about the 2020 COVID championship, with which some people diminish. We'll talk about that in a minute. 4 playoff appearances, 2 missed playoffs, 3 first-round exits, which Rob Parker was pointing to on the network yesterday.
Yeah.
1 Western Conference Finals appearance in 23, and 1 Western Conference semifinals appearance, which was this past season.
Wait, hold on. You're leaving off. And 1 NBA Cup.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's right. Hey,
did you watch the Knicks and the Spurs in that last cup?
No.
I bet you'd even watch a minute of it.
No, not at all.
But there's a sentiment or a feeling that his run with the Lakers was kind of mild, and I think that's only because expectations with LeBron James are so high. They're not realistic. You wouldn't say that, as we pointed out yesterday. Mike, who runs his take, he was like, you wouldn't say that about Giannis or Jokic or anybody else, because you just wouldn't.
If you win one title with a team,
it's because it's LeBron that everyone's like, yeah, whatever. He didn't really do anything.
If you win a title with a team, usually you are a legend in that town forever. As a Mets fan, you always make fun of me how you go to Citi Field and then formerly Shea Stadium. We're still living off the hype of Gary Carter's afro and Darryl Strawberry and Keith Hernandez's mustache, and it's 40 years later. You're right. If you're in Milwaukee, Giannis, until they win another, everyone's going to always be like, man, remember when Giannis won one in the 20 teens?
You know why this is different, Rich?
Because of
you talked about the Knicks parade for days. We even talked about it a couple of days ago because there was more fallout from that senior executive that got fired from J.P. Morgan, remember?
The garbage can girl?
That parade went on forever. Los Angeles never got a parade after the Lakers won. It was almost like the A's celebration after the big earthquake in the Bay Area when they beat the Giants. It was subdued. So I think that's a big part of this, and a lot of people poo-poo the title and call it Mickey Mouse and all that. So
I think you're a subdued if you downplay that championship. Here's why. I'd love to have someone explain this to me. We all watched it. We had nothing else to watch except for Tiger King. We all watched the championship. It was highly competitive from my standpoint, especially when you think about how difficult life was for you.
Covino
sucked.
He loved Joe Exotic.
Hold on. Life sucked. Joe Exotic is your hero.
Covino actually had a mullet for a minute.
Life sucked forever. All right, welcome back to the show. Covino and Rich in for DP, Dan Patrick. We got Iowa Sam on the ones and twos. Danny G on the phones now at 877-99 on Fox. He's our executive producer. We got Hop Along Rich Davis with his 40-gallon hat and his USA jersey. He's in Texas right now. We're live from the Fox Sports Radio studios in L.A., and for over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Shipped fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. Tire Rack, TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Here's the deal. The deal is everyone's all upset, and everyone's like, how is this possible? Red card, where was the yellow card? Unjust, conspiracy, unfair. FIFA hates us. They're corrupt. The world doesn't want us to win. First of all, the world hasn't been embracing the USA like we haven't seen it in a long time, right? And the truth is, there was a cleat to the ankle. And it was pretty vicious.
I felt it when I watched it. I'm like, ooh.
Like, I get upset and I get hurt. My feelings get hurt when Danny G gives me a flat tire and steps on the back of my sneakers. Right? I'm like, dude. Yeah, they had to do something.
Man,
and
I've never smudged your Pumas.
Look, should have been, could have been, whatever, right? My point here is we're looking at it wrong. We won. We got to think about what's next, and we got to think about Belgium and moving forward and who's going to step up. Is it Wright? Is it Ricardo Pepe? So someone has to step up now, and for all we know, they have the game of their life. Rich, you always act like, and you're the first to say it, I don't know how to put your theory into words. It's the Rich Davis theory of your big star goes down. Let's say he's down for a week or two.
I know what you're talking about.
If the guy who steps up behind him hits a few home runs or something, like, is it that different than what the big star would have done in that moment?
No harm, no foul. I always use that analogy with starting pitchers when they're like, hey, Cam Schlittler or, Zach Wheeler or some big star, Scooble, is going to miss 4 starts. I always say, hey, if that replacement spot starter wins 2 or 3 of those 4 games, did you lose that much? They just need to win the next game, and it's no harm, no foul.
Like I said, it's a little bittersweet, and it seems a little unfair, but it is what it is. We got to stop crying about it and focus on the positives of, we're playing tough, and if Balogun is there, how much better you are moving forward. They just got to get to the next game, and you got to focus on the positives like Tillman with that sweet goal. Rich, you got to hear the Telemundo Andres Cantor call of the goal yesterday.
La carrera de Tillman. Ahí va Tillman. ¡Gol!
Andres Cantor's got some pipes, huh?
Now he's just showing up.
Still going.
Another one. ¡De Estados Unidos! Lo hizo Malik Tillman. Sí, el gol más importante de su vida. 2-0 Estados Unidos.
Más importante is right.
I think he said something about our sweet jerseys after that.
It's like one of Rich's conversations down the hallway when we're in a break.
Yeah, my Spanish isn't that great, but Andres Cantor, the legendary sportscaster, broadcaster, calling the goal. Again, positives. Tillman with the goal yesterday. I had to look it up because I was like, that was impressive. That impressed me more than the win yesterday. 63 years old. I thought he was a little older, to be honest, but still, to have pipes like that, I can't do that.
I thought you were going to tell me how many seconds. I was like, at least 15 seconds.
I counted at least 103 seconds there.
Yo,
Radio seconds, that felt like forever.
Can I tell you? It's interesting to me because the late, great John Sterling,
who
you loved for all those years, right?
That's right.
It's so funny. When it comes to soccer, we love the most preposterous calls.
Ow.
But John Sterling gave us that every day in baseball. And I don't even like the Yankees, and people made fun of John Sterling. And I'm like, how could you like that? How could you be like, man, Andres Cantor, but then make fun of John Sterling?
Because
rest in peace.
We're hypocrites. We're hypocrites. That dude took a foul ball to the head, to the dome.
Ow.
But it's expected.
And went right back
it's
to the
expected
game.
in soccer. That's part of the culture.
Yeah, well, he was trying to start a different culture. He was trying to bring fun to sports. So, yeah, rest in peace, John Sterling, and major props to Andres Cantor, 63 years old with the call. And that was awesome. So, again, I'm trying to give you the positives.
Yeah,
because everyone's
I'm
so
positive,
mad
dude.
about it. Everyone, you can't be what you hate the most, right? What happens? There's a new virus in town and everyone's an expert overnight, right? Or there's a new story and everyone's some sort of forensic expert overnight. It's like you knew nothing. Or there's a new health fad and now you're a peptides expert overnight, right?
I get it. I don't want to be that guy, so you know what? I'm going to step back and say.
You can't be the guy who's stepping into soccer on a World Cup level. And it's not like we've never interviewed all the greats and we know nothing, guys. We've been in the same rooms, the rooms where it happens with David Beckhams and Chicharitos of the world, okay? And that's the truth. But we can't casually step into the World Cup all excited because it's in our backyard and all of a sudden be kicking in, or as my dad would say, Rich, bitching and moaning. Hey, you can't come here bitching and moaning. And we know the rules.
And bro, you know, I'll be the first to say
we're not the expert.
I'm done complaining because I'm never the guy that leads with complaining. In fact, I'm almost like too positive at times. So you know what? Hey, let's go USA.
Yeah.
Monday,
my spin
we play
on it
Belgium.
is let's think positive and let someone step up.
But you know what it is, Covino? I don't want to be that guy that doesn't really know much about soccer being like, how is that a red card? Because no, it's more irritating than anything. When you have that casual fan watching with you a sport that you don't know. Like if you're a boxing fan or an MMA fan and you have some jabroni watching with you that doesn't know the fight game and they're like, well, how does he not get out of that move? Or why would he go to the ground game? Or like, I don't know. Or why is he not throwing punches? When someone that doesn't know what they're talking about commentates on a sport, it's annoying. So I don't want to be that guy for soccer. You know what? I don't know
I'm
what a
looking
red card.
up Ricardo Pepe right now. Cacio de Pepe. Ricardo Pepe looks like he could handle the job. 23-year-old stud. Or Sam, they were saying maybe Wright could also
Haji
be
Wright.
the guy. Haji Wright could also be the guy moving forward. He looks
guys,
confident too.
Do you follow me on that? Like, while we want to be involved in the conversation, us acting like we know what constitutes a red card. I told you, we looked it up. I saw some clips and force and malice and
I'm not saying you can't have an opinion. I'm just saying, you know.
You can have an opinion, but at the end of the day, what do we really know? You're right. It's like someone that never watches a fight, and all of a sudden they're, Jim Lampley. Like, I get, maybe we just proceed, and we're still favored over Belgium, by the way. We're still favored. That is Monday night. So, listen, after a nice long holiday 4th of July weekend, Monday night, we got another game. Yeah. We move on to the round of 16.
See, now you're thinking positive.
Yeah,
right?
Positive,
there it
dude.
is.
And I get to wear this jersey one more time.
By
the way, for
Monday,
every time
baby.
we get to wear this jersey, Cove, divide it by the $10 that we spent on it. So now, $5 a wear if we get to wear it today and then on Monday?
Definitely smells like an old high school penny from the 70s. Remember in high school,
Iowa Sam?
they'd bust out that giant sack of pennies, and you had to rummage through them, and they were never washed, and you had to pick one.
Which were washed more, the pennies or the trays at TSA?
I think
Neither.
the trays at TSA.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I was saying we've brought up not only those pennies at gym class, but where you went to school in Iowa, because I don't know how you operate in Iowa. I just know how I operated.
We didn't have school.
We
straight to the farm fields.
So, did you in high school bring gym clothes to school, change into them, and then you would just have stanky ass gym clothes that sat in your locker?
Yes. Yes.
No, the worst part is you went to social studies with a sweaty ass after
you're
running a mile.
Straight dripping.
You know, and there was no air conditioning. We had those Ben Franklin poles that you had to open a window up with, right? You were in the cinder block prison of school, sweating your ass off. They expect you to run a mile, and then you're sitting there in your own stank for the rest of the day.
But Danny G, do you remember those days of you probably had an old Dodgers T-shirt and gym shorts, and then you put it in your locker, and then next time you go to gym class, you broke out that crusty, same gross gym clothes.
No, I got to give my mom a lot of credit, though, because she said, every Friday you bring your gym clothes home. You are not going to, you know what I mean? And I listened to her every Friday, man. I made sure that on the next Monday I was going to be so fresh and so clean.
Dude, we were a bunch of teenage boys.
No, there were kids that
we all smelled like
There were kids,
Fritos.
Rich, there were kids that went 3-4 weeks without bringing those clothes home to get washed.
Yeah.
Dude, Danny, know what it's like? Not to gross people out, but freshman year of college, how many of your buddies were like, "Oh wait, I'm supposed to change my sheets"?
Yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah,
Danny G, make sure your college age sons are changing their bed sheets at school, please. Can't be having gross people.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. But again, wishing Team USA the best moving forward. It was a big night of soccer, a big night in the NBA.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown had a night, a lot of controversy there. People are saying the weakest trade of all time in the NBA. The Lakers are making moves. What's LeBron going to do?
You know what? Let's talk about maybe that weakest trade of all time.
Falling off.
Let's talk about Jaylen Brown. Let's talk about some trades. And also, speaking of the NBA, did you see who was invited to Taylor Swift's wedding? The Knicks starting five. And I got thoughts. I think this is hilarious. So we'll talk a little NBA. We'll talk a little wedding etiquette and more coming up right here. Covino Rich in for the great Dan Patrick.
Hey, we're Covino and Rich from Fox Sports Radio, and you watch the drivers.
You watch the cars.
But these are the people that make race day happen.
Veterans and military families you've never heard of.
This is Unsung Heroes. Take a look.
Around the track, there are military veterans who never stopped serving, only changed uniforms.
There are definitely similarities between the NASCAR industry and the military.
You have the ability to work as a team. That's a big part of what you learn while you're in the military.
I learned from the military, communication is how to convey the point and still get the mission done.
I learned that it's just adapting on the fly to the situations that are presented during the race.
At NASCAR, veterans help keep the race moving on the track. Across the country, they're answering another call to serve in local communities. Vet the Vote is a national campaign recruiting veterans and military family members to serve again as poll workers in their state and local elections.
It's kind of nice to continue to give back for a better America, for our kids and everybody around us.
Learn more and continue your service at vetv.vote/NASCAR.
When I don't like someone, I'm not shy to say it. So I actually do like Acho, but this comment is absurd.
The W at this junction in time would be better without Caitlin Clark because she is a bigger distraction than she is an additive. Caitlin Clark has gotten the WNBA over the necessary threshold they needed. Now people are watching. Now we realize, there's talent in the W. Talent that's actually even greater than Caitlin Clark. And I'm not just talking about bigs like Asia. I'm talking about the Olivia Miles. I'm talking about the Paige Beckers. Hell, I'm talking about the Kelsey Mitchells. Caitlin got the necessary eyes there. But now that the eyes are there, we don't necessarily need her anymore.
Now, he can't honestly believe that, right? And I say that respectfully, because much like Rich, I have nothing against Acho, but that might be the weakest take of all time. We're talking about a woman who changed the entire league. As far as impact, we're not comparing her championships or her skill level.
Oh, Rich
as
compared
far as
her
impact,
to Michael Jordan.
But as far as impact, Rich isn't that far off. What she means to the league, ratings-wise, numbers-wise, jersey sales. Dude, she had more sales than any. She was only second to Steph Curry, included NBA superstars, okay? So when you talk about the revenue, the sellout crowds, the attention she brought WNBA, he cannot be serious.
The WNBA.
Not past brought and brings.
Yeah.
He past tense and present
serious.
tense
So
and future
honestly,
tense.
shame on us, not here on the show, but us as people, to give those things any sort of attention. I'm not saying here for the sake of the show. I'm saying in life, because we have to understand that people are just saying the opposite just to get your attention. So like, hey, the sky's not blue, it's orange. Like, no, it's not. But they'll say that.
Oh, I better click that. What does he mean by that?
Yeah, they'll
He's
just
wrong.
say that to get clicks, because there's no way a smart and intelligent guy like him, a former professional athlete, could honestly think that. So shame on us for even believing it for a second.
Well, if you just mention the name Caitlin Clark, it gets people all hot and bothered.
It's the clickiest of clickbait of all time. To
you
say
say
that.
that?
The world we
What?
live in. It's a great example of the nonsense that we're
How many times
watching.
say click?
The clickiest of clickbait.
Caitlin Click.
So here's my thought. I would go as far as to say I take what Acho said, that the WNBA, or as he called it, the W, I've never heard that before,
George W.
would be better off without Caitlin Clark. I'm going to say this.
I say the opposite.
Had Caitlin Clark not came into the WNBA, I feel like we'd be looking at it going away within the next couple
It
years.
would be like an alternate reality we'd be living in. It was
I
like,
thought the WNBA was they practically got a foreclosure notice. Hey, it ain't
Hold
working.
on.
We've done this 20, 30 years. It's not working. If Caitlin Clark had not come into the WNBA a couple years ago and had that little run at Iowa and the fun with her and Angel Reese, had that not
and
happened,
becoming the all-time scorer in NCAA history.
I seriously doubt.
Man, I have the hottest take, I think, of the day. Stephen A.
This
Smith
is the
could
best
say,
song, dude.
Stephen A. can say whatever he wants about the White Lakers, or what do they call it, the Snowtime Lakers? I have a hotter take, and it involves John Denver. I don't know if I'm ready for it right now. I'm still revving up. Covino and Rich in for DP.
It's annoying. It's annoying because
Oh,
you're.
bro.
Oh,
Get ready
God,
for
you're-
awfulannouncing.com.
Oh, boy.
Dude, Covino's musical taste is like if it's not rocking enough, he's oh God, you're so eye rolling.
That's so false. You sound like my Uncle Bill, who I found out behind my back said he likes Limp Bizkit. What does he know?
He said that about you?
I'm a music snob, okay? So
Get outta
I have what they call taste. You have the opposite. That's naste. No taste. So I don't want to hear from you. But, yeah, everyone was singing. Focus right now, Rich. I want to focus on the positives. I don't want to go against my own theory here. We're Covino and Rich in for DP. We got Danny G. We got Iowa Sam. And when Iowa Sam goes down, yeah, it's not the same. But Sexy Ryan steps up. And that Sexy Ryan, in this case, is going to be Ricardo Pepe or Haji Wright, or someone else has to step up, okay, for Team USA. It's an opportunity for someone else. That's how the story's written. And it's going to be great for Team USA. We're going to look back and be like, yeah, because that's his moment.
Okay. But hey, listen, I can't believe you don't think Country Road's the jam.
I'm going to explain how I feel about Country Road. But right now, we're live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. And after the show, remember, the podcast goes up, our stream goes up, our best of the week goes up. Everything goes up. Even the YouTube is streaming live now at Covino and Rich FSR. But just search Covino and Rich, Covino, Covino and Rich, wherever you get your podcast. And be sure to follow, rate, and review. 5 stars, please. Thank you. And if you leave a nice comment, Danny G might email you, and you qualify for a summer prize pack, all right? We got prizes. We got bribes for you guys because we appreciate being here for DP. Now, the NBA.
Oh, the NBA. Obviously, we talked about LeBron at length yesterday. Like, where should he go? Is the best move Miami with Giannis? Is it Golden State? And then, yesterday, Covino, after we had that conversation, you saw that LeBron said he is open to hearing from any team. So, now all of a sudden, that conversation maybe opens up and broadens more. I don't know if it does, but
dude, that's wild. Actually, that needs explanation. Pause on that for a second, because my immediate response or thought, and I know it's not a correct thought, but my thought was, well, if he's willing to take the league minimum, that's a horse of a different color. Well, why wouldn't he just stay with the Lakers? Because they're on different pages, different parts.
It feel like an ego thing. Like, okay, I can't get a max contract from the Lakers, so now I'm going to be a mercenary and say I'll just go to whoever I want to go to, even if it's the vet minimum.
That's so, I think that's
why not take the vet minimum for the Lakers?
I think that's just PR lip service. I don't know if there's truth to that. I'll believe it when I see it, because if he would have taken the league minimum, he could have stayed in L.A. with his family, which is priority, played with his son, used that extra money to get the pieces that they need to run it back and make a move.
I think there's more to the story that we're going to find out later. The new Lakers ownership and LeBron probably just didn't match up with what each side wanted going forward.
Different ideologies. And Covino, I know Covino's got this big thought that others would shut down right away, but Covino loves the idea of LeBron being that veteran presence in San Antonio, and I just can't see it, but I know I'm down here in San Antonio. Covino,
I'm not the only guy saying it, though.
I'll take the temperature of the people later. How about that? I'll
because
go around
it was a theory. It was a hypothetical. Let's give credit where it's due. We, courtesy of Danny G, too, in our meetings, we're like, Danny G's like, man, this would be perfect because San Antonio needs leadership the same way LeBron James needs youth and a team that can contend. He wants to play for a contender, not a pretender. He doesn't want, the whole thing on him. It was like, it's a perfect match, but it seemed like a pipe dream when we were talking about it.
We talked about it during the NBA Finals.
Now, this is a strong, strong possibility, and now we're not the only ones saying it. When we were saying it, people were laughing about it, that's never going to happen. And I remember Danny G saying, but why, man? They need the wisdom. That's where they fell short in the finals. LeBron could bring the wisdom. They could bring the youth. That would be a perfect pairing to take them back to the finals. It's way closer to happening than anyone thinks. And I got to be honest, we're not the, hey, we said it first show, but I think we said it first.
Yeah, listen, you and I, we both agree, though, that the sentiment of if LeBron's on a team, the other team does not come back down 29. But, there was a composure the Spurs were lacking that LeBron has, and it sounded preposterous. But you're right. Now that LeBron's like, I'm open to anything. It's
I was reading about it on Yahoo Sports. For real, too. I'm like, but we were the clowns with this crazy hypothetical when we were talking about it. Now it's a real possibility if he's willing to take league minimums and really wants to play for a contender and really is willing to put ego aside to go at it, go for one more run at a chip, Is that selfish or is that just awesome? I don't, that's for you to decide.
Can I give you one thing where I told you so?
Sure. It's not bragging if it's true.
No, I mean, I'm never that guy. I guess I hate that type of broadcast or podcast where it's like,
we usually point out where Rich is wrong.
Yeah.
It happens daily.
If anything, Danny G, it's sort of fun to point out when you're wrong because it's sort of funny in a way. But I remember saying months ago to Covino, and we both agreed. I was like, you think ABC is going to eat the money and not air that train wreck of a Bachelorette? The Mormon wife one?
Yeah.
I said, remember they canceled it because she, had some troubles. I said, wait a few months until the next news cycle, and ABC was losing millions. They're going to air this because Love Island and all these trashy shows, it's almost like the more scandalous, the better. I'm like, I guarantee this is not done.
If Peacock is getting away with manipulating these kids on Love Island the way they are, I think ABC could lean into the Taylor, Frankie, Paul controversies. Ratings, baby, ratings. Gold, baby, gold.
All right, well, hey, coming up, we are going to talk Celtics, Jaylen Brown. What a farewell. What do you think of some of the big trades that went down in the NBA? We'll get to that. Plus, invited to a high-profile wedding, do you automatically go? The Knicks were invited to Taylor and Travis's wedding. We'll get to that and a bunch more right here. In for DP, Covino Rich on Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, we're Covino and Rich from Fox Sports Radio, and you watch the drivers.
You watch the cars.
But these are the people that make race day happen.
Veterans and military families you've never heard of.
This is Unsung Heroes. Take a look.
Around the track, there are military veterans who never stopped serving, only changed uniforms.
There are definitely similarities between the NASCAR industry and the military.
You have the ability to work as a team. That's a big part of what you learn while you're in the military.
I learned from the military, communication is how to convey the point and still get the mission done.
I learned that it's just adapting on the fly to the situations that are presented during the race.
At NASCAR, veterans help keep the race moving on the track. Across the country, they're answering another call to serve in local communities. Vet the Vote is a national campaign recruiting veterans and military family members to serve again as poll workers in their state and local elections.
It's kind of nice to continue to give back for a better America for our kids and everybody around us.
Learn more and continue your service at vetthee.vote/NASCAR.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best.
You were dating some girl, and you were like,
Hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense.
her mom walked in.
Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the fun.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. I take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled her wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
Flo Balogun and Malik Tillman scoring the goals for Team USA as they beat Bosnia-Herzegovina 2-0 in the World Cup round of 32. The U.S. advancing to another knockout round match Monday against Belgium, who rallied to beat Senegal. More World Cup action today with 3 more matches on the schedule. A blockbuster trade in the NBA. The Celtics dealing away all-star Jaylen Brown. He's headed to the rival Sixers. Philly sending veteran Paul George and 4 draft picks to Boston. Among the baseball headlines, the Cubs erupted for a 23-3 win over the Padres, with shortstop Dansby Swanson enjoying a historic hot streak. He homered 3 times yesterday and has 5 long balls in his last 2 games.
To be able to play this game, the opportunity to be able to play this game, God's blessed me with ability and just the blessing to be able to be here, and so just going to keep running with that theme.
Going back 10 games, Swanson has driven in 26 runs. The last player to do that, Joe DiMaggio in 1939. I'm Matt McCoy.
Show.
We are the most unathletically decorated show in radio history, I think.
America's most revered sports talk show.
Respect the position that you have.
But today, Dan Patrick and the four Danettes are not here. So sitting in for Dan Patrick and hosting the Dan Patrick Show, here's Steve Covino and Rich Davis.
Yay! Live from the west side, live from the mean streets of L.A., Vatos Locos. Steve Covino from Union, New Jersey. And nobody cares. People are like, Artie Lang? That's it. No one cares about Steve Covino from Union, New Jersey. And that's Rich Davis from Franklin Square, Long Island. He's in Texas right now for the holidays, and we're celebrating early on this second of the month.
Yeah, buddy.
Dos de Julio, bro. People say go to Fanatics. We're like, why? CVS Sports is just as good. Thank you, Sam, for the tip. CVS jerseys.
Oh, you thought he said CBS? No, he said CVS.
Yes, CVS Pharmacy is where we got these jerseys.
You can
$10.
You spend a lot of. They went in there. They had a nice selection of soccer stuff.
Consider it support, but also a protest at the same time, because we don't make that Dan Patrick money. So here we go with our $10 jerseys.
$10.
Let's go.
Good deal.
Yo, I was saying, did you buy the World Cup duck they were selling at CVS? Did you see that?
I didn't see a duck. I saw like little cleat, keychains, T-shirts. I got 2 beer koozies. So now I've spent $30 on a FIFA World Cup shirt, $30 on a hat, a $7 pin, and 2 $7 koozies. So I've spent some money on FIFA gear.
Yeah.
Why do you spend money on koozies when we have like a ton of Covino
I
Rich
have
ones
so
for
many
giveaways?
koozies now. I don't know what to do.
Are you a
with them.
collector?
No, I don't know. I was like, I'll take these
He's
koozies.
he's paranoid that his drink's gonna get at least cool. I mean,
he's extra patriotic, but yeah, Team USA with the big win. The whole point of the first hour is sure, Balogun, red card, unfair, wham, but we're focusing on the positives here.
Yeah.
We're supporting the team. It's a lot of fun. And Danny G has got your phone calls and feedback at 877-99 on Fox. Everything's at Covino and Rich. And if you like our show, remember, we are on normally Monday through Friday, 2 to 4 on the West, and our podcast is available for free wherever you stream your podcast. Search Covino and Rich. And if you want to be part of the fun right now and talk some smack live, the live chat is up, and you could watch what you hear. You could see our sweet CVS Pharmacy $10 jerseys by going to youtube.com/@Covino and Rich FSR. That's COVINO, Covino and Rich FSR. Now, Rich, I know you want to talk Taylor Swift's wedding, and we got other things to get to. We're going to reminisce on a Thursday.
I don't want to go over the details of Taylor Swift's wedding. The Knicks were invited, and I have a hypothetical about invites to high-profile events. But when I was at CVS, by the way, not only did I score this $10 sweet jersey, I didn't get the World Cup duck. It was one of those, like, you squeeze it, and it gives a long, like,
that's quacktastic, quack.
They had Pokemon cards. And for any mom or dad out there who's got a kid that loves Pokemon, when I tell you, these adult losers wait for stores to release them so they could buy them. And I'm like, I just want to let it be known, if you're an adult that takes Pokemon cards because you're trying to find one, you're a weenie. You really are. Like, there's all these moms and dads trying to find their kids' Pokemon cards, and there's adult collectors that wait for the stores to put them on the shelves and take them all.
Rich,
terrible.
Have you seen these? There's Pokemon vending machines. There's one at the grocery store I go to, and someone will walk in there and just wipe the machine out and spend like $1,000.
Yeah, there's a supermarket in L.A., Pavilions.
I bet you a lot of these kids, or a lot of these adults, I should say, could probably make the argument that, well, not only do they hold value, we know that, but they are just as much theirs as they are the kids today, because the kids that grew up collecting these are adults now. They're my brother's age who are, in their 30s, 40s year old now.
Yeah.
right?
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Yeah, some of them also get autographs from Disneyland characters, though.
Yeah, and some of them are losers. You're absolutely
trying
right.
to turn a
Rich.
profit. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you get an autograph from a Disney character, I urge you never to listen to our
without
show.
a kid, without having your kid present, or you don't have a kid and you're in the front of the line to get Minnie Mouse's autograph.
Yeah, but Rich was in line to meet Gaston last time we were there, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Gaston. No, but I listen.
Rich
And
is
I'm
like,
not
can I get your autograph?
And I'm not too cool for Disney, Danny. I'm the first guy to say Toy Story 5. I think you can go see it even if you don't have kids. It's that good. So anyway,
I would say it's a mix. To be fair, I think it's a mix of losers. Right?
Okay.
Like, it's the same type of energy that steals the baseball from the little kid at the game. Right?
Yeah.
That's the energy. Yeah, honestly, perfect, Covino.
It's a little mix of that and a little mix of these were the kids that grew up with it and they still like it.
Yeah, but if you're stealing a 9-year-old's foul ball at Wrigley, you're cut from the same cloth as the guy that stands at the supermarket waiting for the Pokemon drop. Meanwhile, there's a little kid that's like, "Can I get Pokemon cards?" Like, give me a break.
Now, Rich, before we talk some NBA,
Yeah.
is it okay if I honestly speak my mind a little bit? I know I tried to be positive, but there was one thing I was upset about yesterday.
I don't
want to harp on it and take up the whole show. I just want to speak my honesty. I'm not here for the hot take. This isn't just to get people upset. This is honestly how I feel, okay? So I'm not just saying Caitlin Clark doesn't belong in the WNBA just to get the phones going. This is really convince me otherwise because I want to believe what you think, okay? So I'm watching people come together. We watched and we're watching the world come together. Yeah. Courtesy of the World Cup, right? It's healing the world, making it a better place for you and for me.
I believe that we could win.
The entire human race
that we could win.
Is excited about the World Cup. Everyone's got their celebrations. Everyone's got their traditions. Everyone's got their songs. And
I don't buy $10 jerseys from CVS for nothing.
Right. So there's a lot of fun. Much how we speculated on, look at the Knicks bringing New York City together, man.
Yeah.
Together. People are communicating and saying hi again because everyone's excited about the Knicks. The World Cup is bringing people together, and it's also bringing our USA fans together, which is so cool to see.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, our passion levels aren't the same as other countries, but they've got years invested. Soccer's all they got.
Yeah.
We're getting there. So I'm focusing on the positives. It's a big win. We got the red card, whatever. We're moving forward. We got other players that are going to step up. I'm watching the celebrations yesterday, and I know it's supposed to be, I have eyes and ears, and I have an ability to comprehend. I understand it's supposed to be a special moment, and it is, but it'd be so much cooler with a different song.
Get out of here.
How did we adopt Country Road as like the anthem of celebration for the USA?
It's a beautiful song.
I'm not saying it's not. It's a boring-ass song. We're a fun USA country that's inviting all nations to our land. We're having fun. It's the World Cup. It's a boring song. I'm sorry. John Denver is not on my playlist. I know he's a legend. I'm a music fan. People need to understand this. I'm just as much a music guy, probably more of a music guy, than I am a sports guy. I've always been a believer of you could be both. We grew up in a time where you had to, make a choice. Do you want to be on the football team or in band? I was like, why not both? I like both. I love music. I love sports. I am not saying anything bad about John Denver's legacy. I know how he passed away. I know Sunshine on My Shoulders. I know his songs. I know his impact. I know his importance. And I know that this is a beautiful song. I'm saying, why is this our song of celebration?
That John Denver was full of...
I was just thinking that from Dumb and Dumber.
I was thinking Dumb and Dumber, too.
They're in, Nebraska or something.
It's not a disrespect. Yeah. I feel like we're catering to a portion of America when you look at our team, we're a very diverse team, a very diverse country. As they say, we're the melting pot, and we're catering to, the country boys. I feel like I'm disconnected there, even though I do like the song. Not for that moment. Of course it's heartfelt. It's beautiful. I see the singing along. I get it. But why that when there's so many great, I would prefer Party in the USA over Take Me Home Country Road. And I don't like Miley Cyrus.
Sam, You got to play some John Denver. Let's get the vibe here. I don't know why you don't think a country, and it's a great like stadium. Everyone can sort of sing along because it's easy to sing. Covino, Country Road.
Is that
Come
why
on.
we chose it? Because
What-
I think
what would be a better
prefer,
choice?
bro? We've interviewed. I thought it was Larry from Three's Company when he stopped into the studio. I was like, Larry from Three's Company's here. We had Neil Diamond on our show. Okay,
I'm a big fan.
And Rich is a huge fan. We had Neil Diamond on our show. True story. Why not? We're coming to America today. You got everybody coming to America to party, and we played his
that's
downer.
a good choice.
This is a downer song, bro.
Today.
Come on.
Yeah,
You saw Poach singing along, and I got teary-eyed.
Sam, you know what? This is a great driving song. You're just taking it in. You're on a nice country road. You're like, man, America's beautiful, isn't it? The sun's shining on your car. You got the air conditioning on. You're singing along with your family. It's a beautiful song. This is the World Cup, bro. I'm sorry. Nothing against John Denver. He's a wonderful man. But I think his best work was with Kermit the Frog, respectfully. And even then, Kermit the Frog played a better guitar. That's how I remember John Denver. I'm an 80s kid. He was always on the Muppets show.
Oh,
Am I the only guy?
Listen, I think. Listen, what would be better songs? Yeah, maybe. I do love the Neil Diamond. We're coming to
How about
America.
Living in America, James Brown?
Yeah, it's also, I don't know. I don't know. Does it have to be America-based? Like, I think Mr. Brightside's one of the best stadium anthems in the U.S.
Speaking of Neil Diamond, England is using Sweet Caroline, right? So these are fun party songs, and then we're here celebrating. You got a totally diverse team, and then we take it down to like an old country song. I'm a kid from Jersey. I didn't grow up with a country station. Let me make that clear. And now
it's very clear. It's very clear.
I
It's
do
very clear that
appreciate.
you're-
Hey, I'm not saying they should play Linkin Park, Rich. I'm not saying they should play butt rock, as you call it. I'm saying there's plenty of upbeat, kick-ass America songs that'll get you fired up.
Oh, this would be a good one, huh?
And by the way, as soon as we won and they kicked into that song, they went back to the desk and they're like, "Take Me Home, Country Road" has become the anthem of the USA team at the World Cup. Like, they talked about it. It's officially
it's
now
the
like
thing,
the
man.
anthem of what we're doing. And I get it. We got to build our own traditions. But, man, I wish it was more fun. That's all. All right, so I got that off my chest. I can't be the only guy, dude.
You're not the only guy, but I think that most people are like, all right, Country Road. It is what it is, man. Every team, every memorable season for a team has a song. Can I give you one that's even worse if you don't like this one?
Awfulannouncing.com. Covino hates America.
Well, good, because awful's the new awesome. So when I'm on awful announcing, I take that as a compliment.
No, you know what? I know they just sort of used it as like a silly rally cry for the Knicks when Mike Brown's doing "Who Let the Dogs Out?" and because his whole thing is there's a lot of dogs on this team.
Yeah.
When the Mets used that in the late '90s, I thought it was gross because that was like the cheesiest song back then. Now it's almost ironic, and it's 30 years later, 25 years later. But when the Mets in the late '90s even made a parody like "Who Let the Mets Out," I remember being like, "Stop! Why are we doing this?"
I
get
like John Denver.
Covino, you have good taste in music. I get what you're saying because it's a tempo thing. You want a party jam. You don't want a slow jam.
Yeah, dude, this is a celebration. We just won. You don't want to come down. You don't want to bring down the vibe. You know?
It goes like from 100. Goes from 100 to 50.
That's all I'm saying. And
but
that's
Covino,
also,
the vibe of
I'm being honest, is coming from a guy who didn't grow up, really. I'm not a rootin' tootin' country boy.
But
hey,
Covino,
my girlfriend's from Idaho, though, so I'm open to it, and I'm appreciating it in a different way. And I know it's a lifestyle, but it's not everybody's lifestyle. There's a happy medium, like Rich's jersey shirt size. There's a song in the middle that could have been a lot of fun
like
and hit
Keith.
everybody. It could have been a country song, but an upbeat country song.
Yeah, but I think it fits like everyone could be
somber, dude.
Half drunk singing along in a stadium of 50 to 100,000 people.
They tried this at the Super Bowl, and no one was singing along.
I hear you. I don't know. I don't hate it like you do.
I didn't say I hated it. I said for the moment. It's a party. It's like a celebration.
Cove wants more oosk, a little more discoteca.
Yeah.
This
I'm not saying play
No, the
Bruce
press release I'm typing right now says you hate it.
No, dude. I'm a guy that that's why I have to let me reintroduce myself. My name's Covino. I'll take ownership here. But I'm a guy that plays music on Turbo every night on Sirius XM. I like a little more aggression. We got the heart on the line here. We're playing all these other countries that want to beat us. That's a bragging right in itself.
Oh.
And then we come out after the sweet win with some slow jam.
Okay, Cove, how about this? How
I
about
want
next
something
time,
a little more aggressive.
How about a little Don't Tread on Me by Metallica?
Dude, that would be cool at least. That's
now
to me.
You're forcing Covino's old rock.
Yeah, but that's to me on the flip side of like you're really just catering to one portion of people. Like there's something that could have been more upbeat that everybody could be like, yeah, that's cool.
By the way, Country Road, I was saying, I know you know this version, when Andy and Dwight sang it together on The Office. You ever see that clip?
I don't know if I have. Is that post Steve Carell?
I feel like you are Dwight.
Oh, I'm a little bit of Dwight and Andy combined.
Dude, I'm not hating on John Denver, man. Respectfully, I say this as a music fan and as a guy who's loving what I'm seeing. I'm like, it could have been so much cooler. The end. That's it.
It
That's
has
my
heart,
gripe.
Covino, too. It has heart. That's also, too. It's part you're leaving out. It's a song with a lot of heart, and I think it gets people
There's
a little
time
emotional.
and place, dude. Like I said, throw it on in your backyard barbecue then if you want to sing it. I don't think when you got 100,000 people celebrating, that's the one. Not everybody knows the words, dude. Not everyone knows the words.
You can put them on the scoreboard.
I don't know.
Like
I
the
don't.
national anthem.
You don't know the words to Country
After
Road?
West Virginia, I don't know what the next word is.
Mountain Mama.
Mountain Mama? News to me. Hey, bro, I'm as American as it gets. I don't know it.
Mountain Mama. That's where Covino got stumped.
Thank you, though. See, you learned something. The end.
Mountain Mama.
The end. And that's not meant to upset people. This is how
By the
I
way,
Covino
definitely not a
that's
guy
it.
that gets. Covino definitely has never got down with Mountain Mamas.
No,
never.
that sounds fun though. All right, so that's just my. It's not a hot take. It's just as a music fan, that's my rant of the day.
Okay, fair enough, dude. Now, obviously, while we were all watching the World Cup, the NBA stayed busy. Jaylen Brown to the Sixers. They just skipped New York, Danny G. If you live on the East Coast, right? You go right from Boston, skip New York City, right down to Philadelphia. The three most abrasive, awesome sports towns on the East Coast. Boston, New York, Philly, right in a row. And now Jaylen Brown takes his talents to Philadelphia. And some are saying it makes the 76ers a different team and puts them over the hump. What do you think?
Definitely makes the Sixers a better team. I think it's obviously the Celtics fans that are waking up today scratching their heads a little bit because they went from potentially getting Giannis to getting Paul George.
That's the thing. That's like wanting a Transformer for Christmas and you got the GoBot. And you're like, Mom!
And Paul George is a nice player, but he's not Giannis.
No, he's also been hurt.
It's like when the
Mets.
It's like when the Mets thought they were going to re-sign Edwin Diaz and they got Devin Williams.
And by the way, we say that respectfully. You know, these are guys at the top of their game. They're living our dream. Yeah, congrats. You're tall and you made it in the NBA. Whatever. But you haven't played in 2 years. Well, you haven't been healthy, I should say, right? It's not what they wanted is the point. It's not Giannis. So I'm not talking smack. Paul George is a great dude, and he's a great player and all that. But he's not what they wanted. So there's a feeling of, man, what was going on? And the truth is that the Celtics were just looking to get whatever they could for Jaylen Brown, who clearly wanted out. Yeah. And you can't blame the guy for wanting out after they tried to dish him twice in the past 5 years.
We talked about that when he was part of that big trade bait for Giannis. You even speculated. We even said, there's no way this guy could be on this team. You've been used too many times as big trade bait that there's no way you could come to work knowing that anytime they want to make a deal, you're the name they want to throw in. Like, come on,
that's the thing. It put both sides in an awkward position, especially Jaylen Brown's side of things. And so it's still not clear, Covino. There was even a report last night saying he never clearly told the Celtics, I want out.
Well, that's the story. And when the legend becomes fact, print the legend, as Robert Wool said in History 101, because that's the narrative, like that he wanted out.
He's
so
an
they
out,
made the move.
He's an outspoken dude, and he never all the way seems happy with with the front office.
Well, that's awesome.
I shouldn't say whatever front office. The front office he just had, which is a good one in Boston for the most part. But there was just this weird disconnect here recently, and Boston fans are like, you can't do this, though. Jaylen Brown's too good of a talent, although this is the haul that they got, a 2028 first-round pick that could convert from a first to a swap that's more favorable to Boston, a 2031 unprotected Philly first, a 2028 second-round pick, and a 2030 second-round pick. But as we've been seeing recently, NBA teams kind of copying the Rams and the NFL, roadmap of F them picks.
Well, F them picks, you know why, Danny? F them picks because for two reasons. Unless you are so confident that you are in the beginning stages of a rebuild that are absolutely going to work. Like, fan bases, front offices, everyone's so impatient that, like, if there's more than one season of disarray or, like, you're not, competing, the fans are like, next. It is so true. Like, I think Celtics fans, they have too much of a strong winning history there to be patient for anything. So they're feeling like, well, what does this mean now? We're getting rid of a big star and we're taking all these picks? Like, what's that message, right?
I find this whole thing to be really juicy, actually. As we've said, as people say, there's the truth and the spin. And Danny G, from what you're saying, the truth is Jaylen Brown never said he wanted out, and the spin is like, well, they have to justify a reason for making this move. So, yeah, there's a disconnect, and, we're pretty sure he wanted out. He wanted out. So now they get Paul George. Celtics fans are not happy about it. And, again, it all derives from the fact that they were promised one thing and got another. Paul George, for all we know, can come back healthy, step up. Maybe they know something that we don't know and about him and these draft picks that put them over the edge, and they compete on a high level because it's the old Paul George. We don't know that yet. We're not fortune tellers. But there's the feeling of we wanted Giannis, and we got this. It's like we wanted the Showcase Showdown. We got the lifetime supply of Rice-A-Roni. That's how it feels.
It's like
that doesn't mean that's what it is.
It's like asking the hot girl to the prom. She says no, and then you ask like the cute girl, like, hey, you want to go?
Yeah. So hey, again, if you try to think positive, this is an opportunity for Paul George to be like, yeah, all right, people are downplaying what I'm going to bring.
The other thing that I saw Celtics fans saying online last night was, and doing business with the Sixers, like that's another point that's leaving a bad taste in Boston's mouth this morning.
Yeah, too close. East Coast rivalries.
Yeah, well, they were doing business with the Knicks too.
But what a great opportunity, Cove, for Jaylen Brown though, to take his talents to another powerhouse, big fan, a city full of huge fans. Philadelphia might be the most passionate fans in all sports. They're freaking crazy in Philadelphia. And, think of how many times they got it wrong recently, Danny. We trusted that process for what? How many too many years did the fans trust the process? Now it's time to try something different, years later now. Maybe Jaylen Brown is what gets Philadelphia over the top. Stallone style, over the top. So we'll find
true.
out.
Our recent example that we've gone to over and over again was the fact that Nomar Garcia-Parra was the guy they had to get rid of for the Red Sox to go on their run. And he was the best player they had. And at the time, you're like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
So you never know. I mean, Paul George could be the difference maker here or the star of that change that Boston needs to compete again.
And listen, we Paul George is, I think we just associate him with some of the, how old is Paul George, by the way?
I'm guessing.
Yeah,
off the top of the dome, 34.
36.
36? Man, he's a little older than I thought.
I mean, this just screams like we're resetting things right now.
Yeah,
I
Danny,
mean,
you know what it is?
Last year, let's say this for the Celtics.
Well, remember,
last year,
they
people
got Mitchell
thought,
Robinson, too.
Last offseason, there was some talk inside the NBA circles saying, the Celtics are kind of resetting things a little bit here. And then they overachieved. And you get Coach of the Year, and they overachieved. And obviously in the playoffs, you saw what happened. But now for this to happen, this is a setback for the city because Jaylen Brown is a star. Yeah, he's outspoken. Yeah, he gets criticism for certain things away from the court, but on the court, he's a star.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why a lot of Celtics fans are overwhelmingly critical of this, calling it misguided and questioning Brad Stevens and the front office. And so this is not for now, for what we're looking at, it's not a good move for the Celtics. For right now. Maybe down the road, but not right now.
Celtics are getting destroyed on social media.
Yeah. Well, but you know why? Because we can't one day talk about how, what are they building the old guy club in Golden State if they're trying to get LeBron and
the Golden
Steph
guys
and Draymond and Jimmy Butler, and then, Paul George is that same age, 36 in NBA years. That's
but he hasn't played much in the past few years. That's why I said 34.
Yeah,
take 2 years of wear and tear off.
You're not getting youth. We always talk about how youth in the NBA is so valuable. You're not getting youth with Paul George, I'll tell you that. So, hey, your thoughts on the Celtics, Sixers, what's going on in the NBA? And coming up, we are going to go old school. We celebrate the birthday of someone that you're going to be shocked turns 40 today. And we'll talk about great comeback stories in the world of sports and music and entertainment. People you thought were done, down and out, and they somehow found a way to find their way back in. We'll get to that, plus etiquette at big-time events. I saw that the New York Knicks starting five were invited to Taylor Swift's wedding. I got so many questions. Like, do you go? How do you handle this? So we'll get to all that and more. Covino Rich in for the great Dan Patrick right here on Fox Sports Radio.
All right, now let's talk about our friends at Panini America, the official trading card and NFT partner of the Dan Patrick Show. This World Cup has been living up. Living in America. See, that's the song. It's been living up to the hype, and make sure to enjoy it with the Panini FIFA sticker album.
Yeah, the official Panini FIFA World Cup 2026 sticker collection is in stores and online now, bringing back one of the best traditions in collecting. Ripping packs, filling your album, trading dupes, and chasing down those last few exclusive stickers. Albums and packs are available online at PaniniAmerica.net, Amazon, and at many of your favorite retailers.
To take your collecting experience to the next level, download the Panini Direct app to find local trading days in your area. Meet other fans, trade stickers, and try to complete your album before the tournament ends.
Panini continues to deliver a premium collection experience across America, across FIFA, WNBA, NWSL, La Liga, NASCAR, and more, with cards, stickers, and near real-time collectibles with Panini Instant that brings fans closer to the sports they love.
Visit PaniniAmerica.net or download the Panini Direct app to start your collection today.
Today!
Hey, we're Covino and Rich from Fox Sports Radio, and you watch the drivers.
You watch the cars.
But these are the people that make race day happen.
Veterans and military families you've never heard of.
This is Unsung Heroes. Take a look.
Around the track, there are military veterans who never stopped serving, only changed uniforms.
There are definitely similarities between the NASCAR industry and the military.
You have the ability to work as a team. That's a big part of what you learn while you're in the military.
I learned from the military, communication is how to convey the point and still get the mission done.
I learned that it's just adapting on the fly to the situations that are presented during the race.
At NASCAR, veterans help keep the race moving on the track. Across the country, they're answering another call to serve in local communities. Vet the Vote is a national campaign recruiting veterans and military family members to serve again as poll workers in their state and local elections.
It's kind of nice to continue to give back for a better America, for our kids and everybody around us.
Learn more and continue your service at vetv.vote/NASCAR.
everyone at the gym, every TV was on the World Cup, and I saw something of a moment that it's not like I'll never forget, but it was one of those moments where everyone stopped at the end of regulation in the Germany, Das Boot, at the end of the Germany-Paraguay game.
The Germans.
When it went to the penalty kicks, when it went to the shootout. Everyone stopped. You heard like all the weights drop. Everyone's treadmill powered down. And everyone was gathered around the TVs, just standing there with their hands on their hips, looking up at the TVs. And it really was one of those.
Well, you know why? I mean, we're in Los Angeles. I'm not saying this isn't happening everywhere, but I know this for a fact. Rich and I go to the same gym. And our gym specifically, there's a lot of different cultures involved over there. Because I was in the sauna the other day, and it was like a representative of every team in the World Cup talking about whose team was the best. So, like, we have a total mix of people here in Los Angeles and in this country, period.
Is that your new podcast you're doing, Sauna Talk?
Sauna Talk.
Where Covino just brings a microphone to talk to all the weird dudes in the sauna?
There's a lot of immigrant people or foreigners, however you want to see it, people from different lands, whatever makes you feel comfortable, here representing. So the action level is intense and the interest level is high. So if you got all these mix of people at the gym, especially the gym we go to, there's just a good mix of people there. And I could see if it comes down to a shootout, people are like stopping everything to watch it because that's the exciting part, man. And this is the knockout round. This is what we've been waiting
They're
for.
assembling the United Nations in your sauna.
Yeah. By the way,
no
Sam,
joke, Sam.
It's not. I don't think a
It's very
shootout.
diverse.
I don't think a shootout. I'm being serious. I don't think it's something you could casually watch. That's you're locked in. All right, yo, hold on. Pause whatever else you're doing. Stop your conversation. Hey. 5 guys on each team are going to get a shot.
Yeah, this is it.
This is it. You just watched 90. Actually, if it's a shootout, you watched
It's
90
2 hours.
plus another half hour.
We watched 2 matches yesterday that went 2+ hours of game time because
Sam, don't remind me. I was at home,
minutes,
right?
15 minutes.
I'm at home,
45.
my girlfriend's like, let's watch Love Island.
No.
And I'm like, we're in overtime. We can't.
No.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, but
you said it was almost over 15 minutes
It's
ago.
not over till it's over.
But
I'm
babe,
like,
they're about to have a beach orgy. Yeah, but I haven't done.
Yeah, DVR it.
It's Love Island, by the way, is out of control.
Yeah.
But you're so right. These games are so next level. And Rich's take, I don't want to take your take, but you're saying that the shootout is arguably,
I thought about this,
or maybe not arguably, the coolest ending in sports.
I thought about all the endings in other sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the climaxes. All right, if I told you rank these endings, bottom of the 9th inning jam, like power hitters up against the elite closer. If I said, yo, star quarterback gets the ball.
Whew. I want you. Now I want a party. You see what I'm saying? You can't be excited about a celebration and play a somber song. That's all I'm saying. It's not a knock on John Denver, even though he's full of S, man.
That John Denver?
It's not against country music. It's about, I feel like that song leaves out a lot of people and it brings the vibe down.
Well, hey, Covino and Rich in for the great Dan Patrick. And forget about red cards for a minute, Covino. Toilet paper is a foul. Brown card issued.
Yeah, couldn't they have thrown a brown card yesterday? I was thinking about that.
Instead of a red card, but brown card would have been fine. TP smears and leave extra men on the field. Dude wipes are extra large, wet, and built to close out the game properly. Send the 10-pack for free to a TP user in your life. Dudewipes.com/brown card.
Rich, did you get your package yet? Because I threw the brown card on you, bro.
Thank you. I look forward to getting those in the mail.
All right, we're Covino and Rich with Danny G and Sam. Thank you, Fox Sports Radio Nation, in for the great Dan Patrick. Day 2 of the DP3, the Dan Patrick hat trick. Shout out to Travis Irwin and everybody on the phones right now at 877-99 on Fox. Mercer and Mauser, Scott for Mayor, William, I'm sorry, Gus the Bus. Wilma!
Wilhelmina.
Wilhelmina. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. But I see the live chat is popping too because we're streaming live at youtube.com/@Covino and Rich FSR. So if you missed yesterday's show in for DP, it's also on YouTube or the podcast. And a quick reminder, Rich, since it's the 2nd of the month and tomorrow is 3 de Julio, as we get ready for the holiday weekend, 4th of July, We got Joey Chestnut on the show tomorrow. It's a tradition. He's an old pal, and he's going to be on our show tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern time. So 7 out here on the west side.
One of the goats.
Yeah, we have a goat on the show. We bring the goats.
Think about it, the big four, in sports: football, baseball, basketball, and hot dog eating. So we get Joey tomorrow.
Where's NHL?
Going for title number 18, if you can believe that.
So join us tomorrow, and if you miss anything, again, catch the podcast or on YouTube, Covino and Rich. It's an honor to be here, and the phones are lit, Rich, so I want to take a few phone calls before we get back into the NBA and old school when 50 hits in about 15 minutes. Now, I already said I'm from Jersey. Rich is from Long Island. We built our show and our career in New York City. So that's part of the reason why I'm like, that song doesn't resonate with me all that much. No disrespect to John Denver. I'm very well aware of his legacy and who he is. I'm a big music fan. I've already said that. So I'm not just speaking out the hiney. But because I'm from Jersey, I'm getting all this feedback. What do you want? Zombie Nation, bro, to pump your fist? What do you want, some TKA? I'm not saying I want Silent Morning. I want something upbeat, okay? Something. I'm not saying it has to be freestyle.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Bon Jovi.
Daft Punk around the world.
Yeah, I want something. Dude, we're pumped. And not only are we pumped, we're the hosts. And not only are we the hosts, England has Neil Diamond. Why do we got this somber song?
I don't know. I get what you're saying, but you and I disagree so much musically. Like, Covino and I put together, like, a summer playlist the other day on our Patreon.
Yeah, but, dude, I live in the world of music. You listen casually. I feel like I have a great perspective on it.
Yeah.
I make playlists for fun.
You hit me up with the new Sublime. I thought the new Sublime is great. But Covino's the type of guy that sometimes he has this weird urge that he needs to rock or something. And I'm like, who is this guy?
He's a rockin' dude.
Rockin' dude,
Come on,
Steve
Cove.
Covino. Who knew?
I'm here to party
Cove.
hard like Andrew
Let's
WK,
go.
dude. You know what I need? A pair of white pants to go with this USA jersey. Andrew WK style. Bloody nose, high stepping, celebration.
The
That's
Cavs
what it's
are here.
about. Yeah. No, we're here to party hard. It's USA, is it not? Are we not the hosts? What hosts play boring songs? You know, dude, if I was at your party in the USA, if I was at your party and you played that song, I'm like, the party's over.
Well, Covino, not a fan of Country Road as our theme for the World Cup.
It's a
what do you
beautiful
think? Who do we got?
song, but so is Unforgettable by Nat King Cole. That's not the song you play in this moment.
All right, some callers want to weigh in on this. Dan in Michigan, what say you?
What up, Dan?
Hey, fellas. I think there's already a solution out there. They played this song a couple times, but they may have botched it because they're playing some weird techno remix of it. Do you know what I'm getting at?
No, which one?
The Great Freebird by Leonard Skinner. I've heard it
Get
played
outta
twice already,
here.
but they got this techno version of it.
Fast
Trash.
techno version of it.
I like that
sounds cool,
compromise.
but I don't know. I think if anything, Covino,
I
your
did hear
argument should be-
Freebird in the background.
Yeah, I
though,
heard it
yesterday,
like as
yeah.
the third or
I
fourth song
heard
they
it,
played
yeah,
after the
when they
win.
were
Yeah.
on the
I
field.
don't know. I don't think that's the choice either, though.
One more phone call, 877-99 on Fox. And, of course, you could chime in on X and, of course, live. Everything's at Covino and Rich. Who do we got, Danny?
Your boy Trip in Vegas.
Hey, Trip.
Hey, guys, you've already and I got a comment on the Celtics. You've already said the answer. You said celebration. Cool in the Gang's from Jersey. Why not celebration? That song
Cool
gets
in the
everybody
Gang
jumping.
celebration is the answer to what a boomer plays at a 50th
No.
high school reunion.
Or at
That's
a kids
shout.
a kids party.
That's you make me want to shout. Yeah.
Celebration. No, Trip, I love you, but celebration's like the
Why, dude?
weakest song of all time.
It's more fun than Take Me Home Country Road. You might as well play Sunshine on My Shoulders.
Trip said he wanted to weigh in on the Celtics as well.
Hey, what's your thought, man?
What's going on with the Celtics, Trip?
One thing, because it's a major city, if they did a rebuild like OKC, if it was Atlanta, nobody would care. But the reason Brunson shines when Tatum's out, they basically play the same position. It's been going on for years. And so, it might be a good thing. It's just Boston wants to win now. If they were Atlanta, nobody would care.
All right. Thank you, Trip.
It's a letdown because you don't know what to expect, and that's also the positive. You don't know what Paul George is going to bring. It's not like he's some schlub. He just hasn't done much lately, and it's what Janet Jackson said, or was that Paula Abdul? Who said it?
What have you done for me lately?
That's JJ.
It wasn't Paula Abdul. And for all we know, he can come in and dominate, and it's a matter of who they expected or who they wanted and didn't get. So it's like you got the ancillary prize. Boston wanted Giannis.
Well,
That's all. That's where all the deflated feeling comes from.
Let me ask you a question, and has nothing to do with Giannis or Jaylen Brown or not even the Knicks or Taylor Swift. Let me ask you a quick question before we move along here on Fox Sports Radio. What do you think of those numbskulls that climbed the Empire State Building yesterday? That hot Catwoman girl and her like annoying-looking now fiance.
Yeah.
But do you think they should be charged with something serious or a fine? Or because I saw that it could be up to a year in jail and $1,000 fine, and I wonder. I guess the meme of the day, if you go on social media, everyone has replaced whatever they wrote with their own funny little message. Like, I'm surprised you haven't made one that said, like, Covino and Rich rule on that little flag they posted.
I don't have to. Our amazing listeners and friends have already done that for us.
I've seen them.
Rich,
I've seen them.
At you. What was it? It was something maybe from your other show. I can't.
Oh, yeah, there's a joke that you want me to tell you a funny story, Sam?
You want to save it?
Yeah, because we need
Yeah,
to.
I do.
I
do want to save it.
For a really funny story, you got to stay tuned to Covino and Rich because he's going to tell you next.
Okay, perfect. We'll get to that. Plus, old school when 50 hits. We break it all down. Next, right here, Covino and Rich having some fun. In for Dan Patrick. As you said, Covino, we're the Messies of Fox Sports Radio. The Dan Patrick hat trick, 3 in a row. And we do more next right here.
The Cup knockout round is now, and DraftKings has you covered, Rich. Every single match.
Ooh, yeah, the DraftKings app is now available in all 50 states. Is that crazy? All included in all markets, bringing the game straight to your fingertips wherever you are.
New DraftKings customers sign up with code PATRICK. Spend $5, get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code PATRICK in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Connecticut. Call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus. Void in Canada. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involves risk of loss. Availability varies. Bet to get bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Trade to get $50 in predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Issued every 7 days via click-to-claim for 21 days. One non-withdrawable reward redeemable. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends July 19th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Hey, we're Covino and Rich from Fox Sports Radio, and you watch the drivers.
You watch the cars.
But these are the people that make race day happen.
Veterans and military families you've never heard of.
This is Unsung Heroes. Take a look.
Around the track, there are military veterans who never stopped serving, only changed uniforms.
There are definitely similarities between the NASCAR industry and the military.
You have the ability to work as a team. That's a big part of what you learn while you're in the military.
I learned from the military, communication is how to convey the point and still get the mission done.
I learned that it's just adapting on the fly to the situations that are presented during the race.
At NASCAR, veterans help keep the race moving on the track. Across the country, they're answering another call to serve in local communities. Vet the Vote is a national campaign recruiting veterans and military family members to serve again as poll workers in their state and local elections.
It's kind of nice to continue to give back for a better America, for our kids and everybody around us.
Learn more and continue your service at vetthee.vote/NASCAR.
There was just
this cloud of confusion surrounding Brandon Ayuk last year. I'm very well versed on this as a diehard Niners fan. Every fan page, every team page, everything. There was never a clear answer as to, well, where's Ayuk? Is he coming back? Oh, can he come back? Wait, he might be able to, but he's not going to play. Wait, the Niners don't want him to play, or he doesn't want to play. There was never a very clear reason as to what is going on with Brandon Ayuk. And as you remember, anytime we brought it up, there was no one, even the Adam Schefters of the world, had no real clear answer as to what's going on.
At first, it was a contract dispute, but then I thought they fixed the contract.
They paid him more than most receivers. He was a top 5 paid receiver in the National Football League. And then he breaks his silence in some gibberish social media post where he's talking about how he wants to be on the Commanders.
And if I'm crazy or if I'm capping, so them boys cut me today. And I'll sign with the Commanders tomorrow. And we'll see who capping.
Now, since he keeps speaking out, not even the Commanders want him after his social media outburst because he just keeps saying foolish things all over social media. And people are saying, is he the new Antonio Brown?
Well, let me take you through the progression. Then this guy talks about how he fired his agent and how there's this big discrepancy that his agent is also John Lynch's agent and more Ayuk.
I do not have an agent. I terminated my SRA with my previous agent through the NFLPA last year in November.
Talking about how John Lynch is showing up at his house?
General manager gonna pull up to my house. Oh, weirdo. Like, bro, don't pull up to my house uninvited, boy. Shit ain't safe. The fuck? But I knew his ass was gonna do it. So I'm looking at my camera, my front door camera. I see a big old white man, former NFL safety. And I'm like, oh, hell no. And I know my wife is about to be back home soon. So I had to call my wife and say, it's a big-ass white man at the house. I don't know what he doing over there.
Hold on. Now you can stop it there. It's his GM who negotiated.
Metallica, but Sam's just trying to get you all fired up. Iowa Sam is our resident sound technician. And, of course, Danny G's our executive producer. It's the show. We're on Monday through Friday, 2 to 4 on the West. Make a note of that and join us. Or just catch the podcast, okay? We appreciate it. We're streaming live at Covino and Rich FSR, live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Remember, after the show, the podcast goes up, stream goes up, and our Best of the Week is up every Saturday if you missed anything. It's day 2 of the Dan Patrick Hat-Trick. Be sure to follow, rate, and review at Covino and Rich. Now, Rich, before your story, before Old School and 50 Hits, we have a quick phone call. Want to go to it real quick? I don't want to keep people holding.
Let's do it.
It's our spokesman from West Virginia, Fred.
Perfect.
Perfect. Fred from West Virginia. What up, buddy?
Hey, my man. How we doing?
How you doing, man?
Bud?
I'm doing good. Hey, man, as the spokesman for West Virginia, I got to tell you, even in West Virginia, that song is played out, guys. Like, what country road are they taking to any of these games?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. And when you look at the diversity of the team, it's like it doesn't match, and it doesn't match the vibe.
I think the coolest thing is that Covino finally realized the next lyric.
I forgot it already, bro. That's how unmemorable it
Mountain
is.
Mama, bro. Mountain Mama.
Mountain Mama. Okay, so thank you. Hey, thank you so much for the phone call. I truly didn't mean any disrespect. I know that's going to ruffle some ridges because how dare you? That's John Denver, and that's the best song ever. And I'm like, that's not my point. Okay, so thank you for hearing me out. I appreciate it.
You know what? Before we get to Old School and 50 Hits, let me hit you up with that quick story that we're talking about. We're talking about those doofuses that climbed the Empire State Building and put up a sign. One of our listeners made one for us and said, Rich never saw, let's just say.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that was it. Yep.
Yeah. There's a story that these guys don't believe. I would say, have you ever tell a story and your buddies don't believe you for no damn reason?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I have no reason to lie. This was around the COVID years. Like, we were fresh out of COVID because I remember we were still doing the show from our home studio because, life wasn't running again. So I was walking down the street every day to our producer, Spot's house, because we set up a little studio there. These girls were in a Jeep, and they were like a convertible SUV type of thing. They said hi to me.
Vehicle changes every time he tells a story.
Yeah, I think it was like an Isuzu Amigo the first time he said it.
And these
Second
girls,
time was a Wagoneer.
Yeah, it was a Wagoneer.
These
the second
girls started talking to me, and I was, hey, how are you? And they flashed me, giggled, and drove away. And I was like, guys, you'll never believe it. I'm on my way to Spot's house, and these like hot girls are on their way to the beach, and they flashed me. And the guy's like, you never saw boobs. And so the whole joke was Rich never saw.
He told the story like he was the 40-year-old virgin. We're like, this is such a BS story.
It was a real story, and you guys don't believe me. So now, of course, people, years later, still making fun of me for the story, which, by the way,
that Rich Davis is full of S, man.
They did.
So the flag says Rich Davis never saw blank boobies.
Yeah. So, all right. Anyway, it's time to go old school. We do this every Thursday. Even when we film for DP, we go back to the 80s, 90s, sometime in our lives that we loved and reminisce about some stuff. So let's do it. Old school when 50 hits.
There's a certain.
Yeah. What we gonna do right here is go back. Back into time.
Throwing it back for a Thursday. Old school when 50 hits. At 50 after. CNR give you the time capsule topic, and we reminisce together.
Yeah! By
I
the way,
want to thank you.
Why would I lie about someone like hot girls flashing?
Because you love embellishing, exaggerating, and attention. Yeah, and I think you made that up. Because you were pulling us in with this story. Here's why I think you lied. And you were telling us the story, and in your brain, you were realizing that the story was going nowhere. So you're like, oh, I think I got it. Oh, yeah. And then they flashed me. And you're like, get out of here.
That's not true.
Yeah, it was like he realized the story was boring. I think he was losing the audience. And then all of a sudden they flashed him like, get out. You made that up.
In Rich's defense, I think if this didn't happen, he would have let it go after telling it once. But he stuck to it so adamantly
I know.
that I think it is true.
Sam, thank you, Sam. And let me tell you, it's been 5-6 years now, and you guys still don't believe me. And I stick to my guns. I know exactly where I was, down the block from our producer spot, and these girls are like, hey, boom. Come on.
Right. Well, if I were you, I'd continue walking around there every day waiting for that to happen again. So today, we throw it back. We do it every Thursday.
Yeah.
Today's somebody's birthday. Lindsay Lohan is 40 years old, so that's a timestamp. You remember her as a kid star. She's 40 now.
Big 4-0.
Yeah. 1986, American actress, obviously. Freaky Friday, Mean Girls. Born in New York City on this day all those years ago. So we celebrate her because, my goodness, we saw her at her best, we saw her at her worst, and it seems like she's back.
Yeah. And in honor of Lindsay Lohan, who was born just months before the only glorious moment in Mets history in my life, she was getting her diaper changed when the ball went through Buckner's legs. But yeah, 40 years old, Lindsay Lohan. What are the other comeback stories in the world of sports and entertainment? We're talking about athletes, celebrities, entertainers, singers, actors that overcame real huge setbacks in their career. Can I give you the obvious one just to get out of the way?
Sure.
Like a Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Like, you thought that guy was done. Like, oh, man, the drugs and all the off-camera stuff. And then he becomes Iron Man and, like, a household favorite that
Oscar
you
winner.
would never have thought things went wrong.
Oppenheimer won an Oscar.
How about somebody who went completely broke, like Johnny Cash?
And then he came back. I love that whole covers album.
Also battled alcohol and drugs.
When he came back with Hurt, too, that was awesome.
Yeah, he had two comebacks.
I was going to say,
in
his life was up and down, up and down, went down again, came back up. So Johnny Cash, any entertainer, any athlete who came back, you thought they were done, let us know. I think in sports, it's the George Foremans of the world, right? Like, talk about crazy comebacks. Guy came back as a completely different guy. So we'll take your phone calls at 877-99 on Fox. And you can also hit us on the live chat, youtube.com/@Covino and Rich FSR. What up, man?
What does Lampley always tell us? What's the quote when Foreman knocked out the guy?
He
did it.
He did it. Yeah, he did it.
He did it because Foreman said, I'm going to knock him out. So, yeah, the great comebacks, the unlikely comebacks in sports, entertainment, music. We'll get to that. Plus, we'll talk some Knicks and Taylor and more fun stories in for the great Dan Patrick. Your buds, Covino and Rich. Happy 4th of July week, everybody. Let's go.
Hey, we're Covino and Rich from Fox Sports Radio, and you watch the drivers.
You watch the cars.
But these are the people that make race day happen.
Veterans and military families you've never heard of.
This is Unsung Heroes. Take a look.
Around the track, there are military veterans who never stopped serving, only changed uniforms.
There are definitely similarities between the NASCAR industry and the military.
You have the ability to work as a team. That's a big part of what you learn while you're in the military.
I learned from the military, communication is how to convey the point and still get the mission done.
I learned that it's just adapting on the fly to the situations that are presented during the race.
At NASCAR, veterans help keep the race moving on the track. Across the country, they're answering another call to serve in local communities. Vet the Vote is a national campaign recruiting veterans and military family members to serve again as poll workers in their state and local elections.
It's kind of nice to continue to give back for a better America, for our kids and everybody around us.
Learn more and continue your service at vetthee.vote/NASCAR.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best.
You were dating some girl, and you were like,
Hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense.
her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win? Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
we're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there, and I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
Herzegovina last night in the World Cup round of 32. Folarin Balogun with a first-half goal before Malik Tillman converted on a free kick in the 82nd minute. Tillman, before taking the kick, had a long discussion with teammate Anthony Robinson.
We talked about going under the wall. We talked about going keeper side. We talked about going over the wall. Now, I know some guys doubted me to go over the wall, but I practiced this in training, and yeah, I'm happy it went in.
Next up, Belgium on Monday in Seattle. Balogun will not play in the contest after receiving a controversial red card. An NBA blockbuster from last night with the Celtics dealing Jaylen Brown to the 76ers in return for Paul George, 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. Thursday action well underway at Wimbledon as the second round continues. Victory so far for women's number 3 seed Iga Swiatek, Madison Keys, and men's 6 seed Taylor Fritz. That's sports. I'm Frank Garrity.
Dan Patrick. Welcome to the Dan Patrick Show.
We are the most unathletically decorated show in radio history, I think.
America's most revered sports talk show.
Respect the position that you have.
But today, Dan Patrick and the 4 Danettes are not here. So sitting in for Dan Patrick and hosting the Dan Patrick Show, here's Steve Covino and Rich Davis.
Yo, what's up, buddies?
What up? That's Hopalong Davis. 4th of July week holiday. Celebrate with your Husker do's, your Husker don'ts. Rich loves his jumping jacks. And Rich loves sparklers. Those are your favorite, right? Rich likes his name.
Snakes and sparklers.
Yeah, your bang snaps.
Rich.
We're ready, man. And we're celebrating Team USA in our sweet CVS pharmacy jerseys because Iowa Sam only gets us the best. And he's on the Glockenspiel. Danny G's on the phones at 877-99 on Fox. And again, we're streaming live at Covino and Rich FSR. 3 quick reminders, Rich. 3 quick reminders before we get to the phones and get you involved. Old school and 50 hits. Joey Chestnut tomorrow for 4th of July weekend. He'll be here.
Wait. By the way, let me ask you then. If you're
Yeah.
going to say Joey Chestnut's on the show tomorrow, the hot dog champion, how many hot dogs do you think we Americans, country road, eat every year on the 4th of July? He eats about 70.
Man, including or excluding Joey Chestnut?
Yeah, I was going to say, you could take his 70 away.
I don't know, man.
155 million hot dogs on the 4th
I was going to
of
say
July.
that. I was going to say that. Enjoy your weenies. So Joey Chestnut tomorrow. That's 10 a.m. on the East, Danny G?
Yeah, 10 a.m. Eastern. He's going to be on his way to the big weigh-in.
Nice. And we have a bonus pod called Overpromised. I want you guys to check it out. Everybody here for Dan Patrick. We say, hey, we hope you like us. I think you'll really like Overpromised. It's uncensored. It's unleashed. And it's a lot of fun. It's a quick podcast. You could watch it. You could listen. Just search Overpromised wherever you stream. And, of course, it's on this YouTube page at Covino and Rich FSR. And if you really like Covino and Rich, we have a Patreon show, again, where Rich is just completely off the wall.
That's true.
Michael Jackson style. And we do that in about 2 hours. We do that every day. So catch that. We appreciate you being here. And we will talk more NBA if you keep it on Covino and Rich and give us a chance.
right.
But every Thursday on our show, 2 to 4 on the West, here on Fox Sports Radio, we do something called Old School and 50 Hits. Because you go a little old school when you turn 50. By the way, I watched Louis C.K. last night, his special. Guess how old he is?
As did I.
He's
As did I.
58, man.
Bro, looks
Can I
like
tell
he's
you?
aged a lot the past few years.
Let me tell you.
I was like,
wonder
wait,
why.
he's not that much older than me. This is sad, but I love him. He's a vato loco forever. He's very funny.
Not quite there, but 50 feels like that's going to be a big one. I'm still quite a ways away, but
I'm
still
not
50.
there either. I'm just saying he's 58. So once you hit 50, you feel a little old school. And when the clock hits 50 on Thursdays, we throw it back. And speaking of age, Lindsay Lohan's 40 years old today. And you can only think about her life and her career. She started off, she's just a little kid, big Disney star, making big movies. Then, she's hit with a lot. Celebrity's tough on kids. We know that. And she goes through her struggles and issues, and it's all over the news and social media and tabloids and everything else. And you don't hear from her for a while. Dude, she comes back. She looks dynamite. She looks great. And you can't be more happy for Lindsay Lohan. So based on that, the biggest comebacks in sports and entertainment, and we get you involved, Fox Sports Radio, Dan Patrick Nation at 877-99 on Fox, and, of course, at Covino and Rich. What up, Rich?
Well, I mean, so involved that Danny G said that the best answers He's willing to give away some Covino Rich Fox Sports Radio grilling aprons and koozies.
Now we're talking.
And some 4th of July.
Yeah.
4th of July prize packs, as we'll call them. So, best comeback stories in the world of sports and entertainment. It's funny you would say that you watched Louis C.K. last night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if all his jokes just skewed like, hey, I'm old and miserable. Or, because I used to think Louis C.K. was one of my top 5 comedians. I didn't love it. I'll be honest. I watched it on the flight from L.A. to Texas. I did not love it. But the fact that he has a Netflix special after showing everyone his dinky and stuff like 10, 15 years ago, what do you think? That's a comeback story that he's back sort of with a Netflix special?
I would say completely part of the conversation. This guy was canceled, and now he's back on Netflix.
Yeah,
So,
he was wasn't he one of like the OG guys canceled? 'Cause
Yes.
He was just touching himself in front of people, right? Or something like that. That was the story.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be careful with what I
mean,
say,
if
but
you could get a Netflix special after that, I'd say that's a pretty big comeback.
Yeah.
And you know what, Rich? You're not alone. I watched it like, what is going on? But I wish him the best. It was worth
you know why,
the watch.
Kevin? I'll tell you why you and I probably both loved Louis C.K. comedy and didn't connect.
It was very dark. It was dark humor at its finest.
I'm not into like, hey, we're all getting old and death. Like that to me, that's not funny to me. He's funny, but I was like,
And
it's all right.
based on Louis and based on Lindsay, biggest comebacks. I already mentioned George Foreman because that immediately comes to mind because, dude, it was like, he's fighting Muhammad Ali and then he's fighting Michael Moore. Like, he lived 2 different lives. He was a guy that everybody feared as a young man with an afro, ripped and shredded, and he comes back looking like Buddha or something. I'm like, who is that? I remember being a kid thinking, wait, that's the same George Foreman? Like, it was like he was. And then there's other people like, you mean the grill guy? They only know. There's a certain generation that only knows him as the grill guy. So he had many lives and many adventures. Even his movie's pretty great.
And you could stick to boxing and say that Mike Tyson had to reinvent himself after the air bite and,
everybody
some other struggles. He's had to come back a couple times.
I was in the big house, and look at me now.
Yes.
Everybody loved me, Mike Tyson. So, you know what? That's a great answer, too, man. He's a guy that I think the world just wants to love, and they realize – and he realizes he's an imperfect guy, and he's very honest, and that's why I think we've given him so many chances. Everybody has a soft spot for Iron Mike.
For all that Iron Mike has done, and there's a lot of questionable stuff, I think the soft spot we all have for him is because, A, he meant a lot to our childhood. Tyson's Punch-Out, he was invincible. Plus, you're right, there's a vulnerability that this version of Mike Tyson has that it's hard to be like, how could you hate the guy that's like, I'm troubled, I'm just like, he's knows.
So vulnerable, yeah.
He's so vulnerable. And by the way, let's go to the phones. Loaded lines, 877-99 on Fox. I have like my top answers, but I don't want to be the guy that steals all your answers. So I'm going to sit back, chill, have a 4th of July morning coffee, and let you guys do it. Let's go. Come on. Who do we got?
Let's start in San Bernardino, California. Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Listen to you guys' show all the time, at your usual time, and I called in once, and it was regarding Mike Tyson, the game. I mentioned you guys had missed Super Macho Man or some guy, whatever it was. But after I hung up, you guys were like, wow, that guy was talking a million miles an hour. And then you started making fun of me, and then I got all butthurt. And anyway.
I'm glad you're over it. No, I'm kidding.
This might be the greatest comeback story.
Yeah, you're a comeback story, Steve.
I was going to say, this is me like in slow motion, like I'm underwater, but an ironic comeback would be like, you know how Luke Skywalker is always going to be Luke Skywalker. Cobra Kai was kind of like the comeback with the same characters. But, anyway, my guy is going to be Adrian Peterson for the Vikings. I mean, what he did coming back from an MCL and ACL, even Joe Buck on game 1 against the Browns was like, yeah, he's dressed out, but, I mean, he's not going to play. And
well, hold on.
Not only that, and he got a lot of bad press with the whole Switch story, too, at one point. Remember that?
Who's my guy here with the comeback story? What's his name?
Steve. You know what? Great call. Nice comeback.
Hey, Steve, you nailed it, but not even the Adrian Peterson thing. You said Cobra Kai in passing. Billy Zabka showed off his acting chops on Cobra Kai. What, 30 years later, 40 years later after Karate Kid?
I wasn't surprised because Cobra Kai never dies, bro.
That is true, Cove. Yeah. That is true.
So I was
waiting
30 years for the
Steve.
comeback. Hey, Steve.
Thanks,
Great job.
Hey, Steve.
All right, let's travel to Iowa. Tanner is in the house.
Hey, Tanner.
how you guys doing?
What up?
Not much. I just want to give a shout out to Iowa Sam. I'm a big fan of his. But
Thank you.
For mine, I was gonna pick a guy that not once but twice had a comeback story, and he is based in San Diego, and his name is Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy, definitely. I mean,
I
that
thought
guy
he was
drinking.
going to say Ryan Leaf.
Like that guy was drinking, warm milk out of a carton, and we thought Ron Burgundy was down and out, and he came back. That's a great answer.
You know what's interesting, Rich? You got my mind working a million miles per hour because I feel like Quentin Tarantino has given actors. He's always given them great opportunities to, have a comeback story. He's like, Don Johnson belongs in a movie.
It's so funny you would say Don Johnson, Covino, because I feel like the number one answer could very well be, I don't want to take it, but John Travolta. When you're thinking of our parents, Travolta, and then the Travolta we know.
He got all this credit for, John Travolta's big comeback in '94, right? Look Who's Talking came out in '89. And that was a pretty big – it's not like he was nowhere to be found. He just didn't do anything for a minute. But it wasn't that long of a span.
It was a cool reinvention, but we made it seem like he was gone forever. You're right.
We made it seem, or the magazines or news or pop culture at the time made it seem like John Travolta fell off the earth and we hadn't seen him since Grease. Or, since he was dancing disco moves.
Yeah.
And he came back with Pulp Fiction, and it was considered – a big-time comeback for his career. Now he's back again wearing a beret. So he's a guy that's lived many lives, but he's also a guy that was always part of, like, this comeback story. But to me, it's like, was he ever really gone that long? It wasn't that long that he was gone in retrospect.
Covino, to quote one of your favorite songs ever, don't call it a comeback.
I've been here for years. That's right.
How about, can I give you one in the music world? And then, Danny, I know the phones are all hot. I don't want to take all the great answers. But as a guy that loved 2000s music, I work on Sirius XM's Pop 2K. I remember in the early 2000s, late 90s.
Or like Pop Toupee, bro.
Good joke, bro.
Pop Toupee.
Pop Toupee. Our parents had Oye Como Va and Black Magic Woman and all those big hits. 20, 30 years later, Carlos Santana starts doing duets with everyone from Michelle Branch to Rob Thomas to
Lauryn Hill,
he did that Maria song.
CeeLo Green, right?
You're dropping a lot of names, but the Rob Thomas one is the one. Do not be mistaken. That's his jam. That's still a jam. And he's due for another. That was like 30 years ago. He needs another comeback.
But, dude, he had the Maria, which was the number one song with Product G&B. He had Michelle Branch, The Game of Love. Like, Santana just made this run where he came back and he had a hit with, like, 5 different contemporary artists.
And by the way, can I blow your mind? Because I saw this recently. Edward James Olmos, the amazing actor, looks more like Santana than Santana looks like Santana. Look it up. Look it up. I saw
what's your other favorite one that Jack Black looks like?
Oh, he looks like Chris Cross. That's a whole confusing meme.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, so comeback stories. Back to the phones. Danny G. This is all based on Lindsay Lohan's birthday because, honestly, if you've missed it, she's back and looking great. And I'll give you one more example of that, Christina Aguilera. And, of course, there's maybe cosmetic reasons that somehow they pull this off. But, hey, it works for some people, not for all.
All right, let's go to Montana. Jay.
Hey,
what up,
Jay. What's going on?
Well, good morning. So the first name that popped into my head, because I remember I was shocked when I saw him on TV, is Keyshawn Johnson.
I guess he had some problems right after his career.
When he retired, he had problems with drugs, women, alcohol, the police. He had arrests, public arrests. It was really bad for Keyshawn. He hit bottom.
And sometimes you got to hit
and then he wound up
back
doing morning drive on LA radio for a while after that.
Yeah.
So he did have a big bounce back.
Covino, there's an answer that I'm going to wait on, but I feel like if you don't say it, you're going to be so mad at yourself because it's someone you love so much.
Pee Wee Herman.
Think about it in the world of movies. But let's go back to the phone calls and feedback.
Who do I? All right, I'll think about it. Back to the phones because I got a bunch of answers. Like Rich said, I don't want to give them all away. What's up?
All right, Chris in Sacramento.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, I had two. One kind of dry-jotted it. It was Ryan Leaf. But my one I really wanted to say is Michael Vick, man. Michael Vick came from.
It's a good answer.
Here's
the
dog
thing.
Fighting.
I'm with you. I have that written down. I'm sure Rich had that written down.
I do.
And I think it's a great answer. I really do. Like, you got to think of how low he was and how hated he was to, like, you know what? I think he's done a lot to be forgiven. But there's still, here's the little asterisk next to him. There's still a lot of people that haven't forgiven him. Because every time we say that and bring it up, people are like, I haven't forgiven him. And I'm like, wait, I thought we have. And then there's always like, nope, no way, I still hate the guy. But I think he belongs in the conversation, no doubt. But there's still a lot of people that have not forgotten.
I have a prediction. Can I give a prediction for a comeback that hasn't happened yet, but I feel it, like I somehow think so?
Yeah, I have that written down too. Can I read your mind just to see if we're on the same page?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ready? Based on Alex Rodriguez and how we saw him fumble and come back, and now everybody loves him as a broadcaster, you're thinking the same for Russell Wilson.
I was not, but that's fantastic. You're right. I was thinking that, but not in this moment. Russell Wilson, I think we're going to love him as a broadcaster and be like, oh, that's right. He used to be Mr. Unlimited, the putts.
Bang. That's it.
The one. Man, you know what? I'm going to just stick with that one. That's a good one.
But that's not what you were going to say? What was the one you were going to say?
Now that you said Russell Wilson, I forgot for a second, so give me a second.
I have one in the meantime.
Well, no, you said you had a prediction. So my prediction, was that Russell Wilson, because, look, he hasn't been the Russell Wilson. He's been more of like a guy we joke about for the past few seasons of how cringy he is. I think him as a broadcaster and his NFL insight, we're going to change. We're oh, yeah, Russell Wilson's awesome, and he's going to come back and be a different guy, viewed as a different guy as opposed to what he was, on the field the past few seasons. I think he's bound for a great comeback.
I think we're one Apple TV, HBO Max, Netflix, awesome show away from loving Kevin Spacey again, because he was never convicted of anything. All the charges were dropped, but no one touches Kevin Spacey. We forget how much we loved House of Cards and all the shows he was in. I think Kevin Spacey, in the next 5 years...
Yeah, it wasn't about people touching Kevin Spacey. It was about Kevin Spacey touching people, wasn't it?
Maybe that was it.
He was on with Bill Maher on what is it called? Club Random, the podcast.
Yeah.
And he was like, listen, I'm not saying there wasn't a fire. There was smoke with the fire, but it wasn't a raging forest fire. It was like a kitchen fire. So, like, he had a reputation on set as being kind of doing his own thing, and it rubbed people the wrong way, and people were, uncomfortable with some of the things he did. Ultimately, though, he has gone way to the bottom, and now I think he's kind of climbing back up.
And you know what? Yeah. And we Americans, we're coming to America. We love a great comeback story, man. Second chances, if it's deserved.
It certainly humbled Kevin Spacey. Like, you could tell watching that interview with Bill Maher that his legs were cut out.
Spacey, Russell Wilson, A-Rod, and they're all coming back from different things. We're not saying that all these people are in the same company.
You brought up A-Rod. A-Rod, Covino and I always love to say, as a player, just had this getting in his own way, putsy feeling about him. But as a broadcaster, A-Rod is the man. In fact, he's on the main story on TMZ Sports right now, where he's like making out with some hot brunette at the Fanatics party. That big, they do that white party every year.
There you go, A-Rod.
How about this one? I don't think anybody's going to give us this answer on the studio lines, but the gruesome photos of after all the operations. Alex Smith,
yes,
your former Niner
good one.
Quarterback, Rich. That was just amazing that he was able to get back on the field at all.
Literally, like a comeback on the field. Like the guy, we thought there's no way this guy's playing again. He almost lost his leg, almost got amputated, and then he plays in an NFL game.
Can I piggyback off that? Teddy Bridgewater, too. Had a gruesome leg injury. And listen, Alex Smith's and Teddy Bridgewater's careers were not the same after that. But a lot of people thought they would not be able to come back and play in a game. And Teddy Bridgewater ended up being a backup for several years after that.
There's so many great stories, and we want to give you the opportunity in the world of fighting. The Vinny Pazienzas of the world. Dude broke his neck and came back. There's so many great stories. And there's other ones that, honestly, I find odd. Like we said, Travolta, who, he had the comeback reputation, but he wasn't gone that long. Duran had that reputation too, because they were so big in the 80s, and all of a sudden they come back with a hit not even 10 years later, and people are like, man, what a comeback. And I think now we realize time goes fast. They weren't gone that long where it was that big of a deal. But I got another one.
I was going to say that about someone very popular with women and gay dudes, Kylie Minogue. She did the Locomotion in the 80s, and I forgot that was her. 20 years later, she's doing all those like dance club hits, and Kylie Minogue
I think
is
you get
huge
confused,
overseas.
too, because that's a cover. So you think it's even older than it is. And, so she's confusing. She's been around so long now.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about, entertainment, music, sports, just a million sports comebacks. Like, I put Dave Grohl in this conversation, too, and here's why. They have enormous success with Nirvana. Lead singer dies. You think that's pretty much it. He comes back as the lead singer of the Foo Fighters. And he's the drummer of Nirvana. That's all anyone knows about the guy. The drummer of Nirvana's got a new band, whoop-de-doo. And then Foo Fighters become basically one of the biggest bands that we have. So I think that's a pretty great comeback. And he played every instrument on that debut album.
How about a song? I'm sure, Rich, this is one of your favorite songs. Believe. Cher showed up on the radio in the late 90s.
Big time, yeah.
Yeah, and that's like somebody that my grandma loved. And, current radio stations, I think it was 1998, 99.
I think your grandpa probably loved it more.
Probably.
Yeah.
By the way, Cher is on the very short list of 80-year-olds you would.
I mean, it's a really short list.
It's like her and Martha Stewart.
It's a I might, you would, I think. So anyway.
By the way, when you say comeback stories, please just get it out of your head. I'm not going to say it, but we all know that viral clip of the outtake of Chris Pratt on, is it Community?
Yeah, I'm not even thinking it.
Yeah. No, but I'm just
you're
saying,
talking the Kim Kardashian joke?
Yeah, the Kim Kardashian terrible joke. Yeah, but so, okay.
So sports and entertainment as we celebrate Lindsay Lohan, because she really does. And it makes you feel good, too. Like, man, you look great. That's great. I like that. 2 more phone calls now, and then we'll finish up the feedback. It's Old School and 50 Hits. We reminisce and throw it back and get you involved every Thursday on our show. Covino and Rich in for Dan Patrick. Who do we got?
All right.
Vinny?
Chris in South Dakota has been on hold.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, how we doing, guys?
What up?
What's up, man?
Not much. Hey, I got one that technically hasn't happened yet, but it's been announced, and it's going to be so epic when it happens next April. The return to the big screen for the great Rick Moranis as Lord Darth Helmet.
Oh,
That's a good one, man.
That's a good one.
That's a real good one.
You know what? Do you want to have Chris on hold as possibly one of the better answers today?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Because Rick Moranis dipped away, not because he sucked, but because his wife passed away and he had family stuff and he prioritized family. And everyone always wondered why he never came back. And it was because he just said, this Hollywood world doesn't fit into what I'm doing now. So it's going to be really nice to see Rick Moranis back.
That might be a top answer. If you got another one you want to compete, because we are giving away our summer prize pack, the grilling apron and koozies to the best answer.
I have a name. I don't want to step on other people's answers, but should we take some more calls? And if no one takes it, can I offer this one?
Yeah, sure.
I think this one will be. You guys will really like this one.
All right.
Let's. I have one that we might be sharing the same one, but I'll let you do it, Sam.
Okay.
If it's the one that I think Covino's totally.
We'll go 1, 2, 3
favorites.
reveal. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Last call for right now. Rivers in Missouri.
Rivers, what up?
Hey guys, what's up? Happy 4th. I think that Albert Pujols come back to the Cardinals after the Angels canceled his contract, and we had that winning season was super special. And what really made it awesome was that it was also Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molena's final season too, and it was really great.
That was awesome. And you made me think of Matt Carpenter too, because he was out of the league. He fell off a cliff emotionally or in baseball, and he was hurt, and he came back with the Yankees hitting all those bombs. Like, there's so many great moments in sports, and we love that.
There's a lot of quote mild examples where a guy dipped off for a couple of years, like, oh, he's done. Like even Bellinger, there was a minute where you thought Bellinger was done, and then it was like, oh, he came back.
Rich, how about coming back from the yips? Somebody in our in-show chat said Rick Ankiel.
Oh, dude, Rick Ankiel came back as a position player.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what a wild story that is. Covino, I got to throw it out there. Sam, do you want to do this on the count of 3? Let's see if we have
if
the
you
same
and
answer.
Sam are on the same brainwave.
All right, Rich, you do it. You give yours.
He doesn't believe that we're on the same page.
Well, I don't want to ruin it. Like, we both blurt out an answer, and they're both good answers, and they're different
2,
answers.
3.
Ke-Huy Quan.
No, that was not mine. Okay.
Ke-Huy Quan hasn't. He hadn't done anything.
That's a good
from
one, though. That's a good one.
Goonies and Short Round, and that is a great answer.
Now he's an Oscar winner?
An Oscar winner.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Data and Short Round. I mean, where'd he go? And then all of a sudden, bam, winning Academy Awards, right?
You call him Dr. Jones.
Quickly, can I give mine?
Yeah.
The wrestler, Mickey Rourke. Because he was not. That's a 99% Rotten Tomatoes score. His career had flatlined, and I think he was nominated for an Oscar for The Wrestler in 2008. And that was. And I know he's on some hard times right now, but that was a huge comeback for him.
It was. It absolutely was. Two great
Covino,
answers.
Covino, I thought you were going to say Kimmy Gibbler on Fuller House.
I thought you were going to say that. All right, so I was waiting for you to say that. We're going to wrap up with your phone calls and feedback, and if we don't get to you, hit us up on social media at Covino and Rich. And remember, the best answer wins a prize here. We do this every Thursday, Old School and 50 Hits. We got more Covino and Rich next on Fox Sports Radio. In for Dan Patrick.
All right, now tires matter, buddy boy. They're the only part of the vehicle that touches the road, and they're responsible for everything: accelerating, braking, steering, handling. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack.
I like how you said accelerating or something.
Accelerating.
Whether you know exactly what you want or you're looking for expert recommendations, Tire Rack makes it easy. You're going to get fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, and convenient installation options, including mobile tire installation, where they bring the installation to you, to your home, office, or anywhere in between.
Yeah, I call that the baller treatment. And, of course, the best selection, including the full line of Continental tires. They don't just sell tires, they test them on the road and on their track. Learn how the tires you want tackle evasive maneuvers, drive and stop in the rain, or just handle your everyday commute.
Go to TireRack.com/Dan to see their Continental test results, tire ratings, and consumer reviews. And be sure to check out all the current special offerings. That's TireRack.com/Dan. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Hey, we're Covino and Rich from Fox Sports Radio, and you watch the drivers.
You watch the cars.
But these are the people that make race day happen.
Veterans and military families you've never heard of.
This is Unsung Heroes. Take a look.
Around the track, there are military veterans who never stopped serving, only changed uniforms.
There are definitely similarities between the NASCAR industry and the military.
You have the ability to work as a team. That's a big part of what you learn while you're in the military.
I learned from the military, communication is how to convey the point and still get the mission done.
I learned that it's just adapting on the fly to the situations that are presented during the race.
At NASCAR, veterans help keep the race moving on the track. Across the country, they're answering another call to serve in local communities. Vet the Vote is a national campaign recruiting veterans and military family members to serve again as poll workers in their state and local elections.
It's kind of nice to continue to give back for a better America, for our kids and everybody around us.
Learn more and continue your service at vetthee.vote/NASCAR.
Jake Paul has this amazing career in fighting. Now Jake Paul's like, all right, well, what's next? I'm not saying his career's over, but he is sort of switching it up.
I do have NFL aspirations.
Oh, wow.
After boxing.
Is that he's like, yo, I think I'm going to take my talents to college football now, and in hopes to make it to the NFL. He wants to play for Stanford as a slot receiver or something like that. But for him to think he's going to make it to the NFL, look, he's proved us all wrong already. But that's impossible, dude. Get out of here with that. I don't see that happening. Like, you're big time dreaming if you think that's possible. You're really underestimating the talents of these NFL dudes.
Nothing and everything is possible.
I mean, I would wish him the best. I would love to see it. That's not me rooting against the dude, right? We've had great run-ins with the Pauls, and they've put on some great events, and I'm all there for it.
Listen, anytime we've ever interviewed the Paul brothers, always been nice as well. But here's the thing. The fact that Jake Paul did this in boxing makes you wonder, well, he's got a work ethic that's unmatched. But thinking he could just become a receiver that could play at an elite enough college level, and then to jump into the NFL is just like, I get it, dude. Like,
there's certain,
we all want those things, but
certain tangibles, I guess. There's skill sets that you need. Like, to be a fighter, yes, you need certain skill sets, but it's the raw form of combat, right?
Mm-hmm.
With professional football, you have to have a certain level of speed, like God-given abilities, I think. A certain level of hands. Like, you have to be elite on different levels. So I'm not wishing anything against the dude. In fact, I'd root to see him succeed. But Sean Merriman has now weighed in on it, and they're beefing as well. And Danny G has the sequence of tweets and
I do
back and forth.
You know what? But rather than me read these tweets, let's hear it from I don't want to call him a horse, but let's hear from the Lightning's mouth, because he's a friend of mine and yours, Sean Merriman, on the show right now.
Yeah, what's up, Sean?
Sean!
What's up, fellas?
Tell us, like, where this all started and where this beef with you and Jake Paul right now.
You know it's weird, man, because I was around Jake when he first really got into boxing. I was the very first one that came out and said, listen, I don't know how far this kid going to take it, but I can tell you that he's going to do well. I don't know how far he's going to take it because I've seen it. I saw the work ethic, and I've been around professional athletes my whole life. So I've only done, but promote Jake, and even though that he warrants, some of the criticism he gets, he's done a great job in what he's doing. And so, fast forward a couple of days ago, I saw one of the posts online, and he was doing a podcast talking about potentially trying out for football and making a team at Stanford and playing for the Cowboys and Nelson. I kind of just quoted, reposted like, man, you guys can miss me with this. I'm not even paying attention to it.
Let the Duran play. Ordinary World, which came out in 92, by the way. Less than 10 years after Hungry Like the Wolf and some of the other hits. But at the time, it was considered like this huge comeback for Duran. And get this, it's back again from the Bone Temple 28 Years Later soundtrack that came out this past year. So,
every time you say Duran, I picture Stifler dancing to the Reflex in American Wedding. I don't know why. You know that scene I'm talking about, right?
Of course, but in retrospect, they weren't gone for that long. But it was cool because it's considered a comeback. We're going over comeback stories. Yeah. We're going to wrap it up. But we're Covino and Rich in for Dan Patrick with Danny G and Iowa Sam. And thank you, Fox Sports Radio Nation. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Remember, the hottest rookies, biggest superstars, and all-time greats. The only place to collect them all is Panini Trading Cards, the official trading card of the Dan Patrick Show.
Ooh, for instant classics, autograph cards, memorabilia cards, rare inserts, and more. Start or continue your collection now at PaniniAmerica.net.
So why are we talking about comeback stories? Because it's fun. We love comeback stories, but it's Lindsay Lohan's 40th birthday, so that makes you feel kind of old. But you also say good for her because she was sort of down and out, and now she looks great and feels great, and she's making movies again, and we're happy for her. We're happy to see that. I'm hoping the same for and I'm not comparing them, but what's her face? Oh, why am I drawing a blank?
What's
come on.
the face?
Hold on, let me use my brain. Oh, what's her name?
This could be scary.
Child star.
What's her face?
Oh, she did the soccer movie with the
Amanda
Bynes.
Bynes, you're thinking of.
There you go.
Yeah, but she's got like weird face tattoos and stuff now. She's long gone.
She's gonna come back.
She's had some mental health issues.
Yeah, but she's gonna get help. She's gonna come back looking hot. You'll see.
Rich is just scared of needles.
Could I hit you up with one that no one mentioned?
Yeah.
I thought about this because I was thinking about anyone. I was like, is there anyone from the 2000s that dipped away that we're seeing reemerge now? And I was like, wait a minute, hold on. In the 2000s, when we started watching American Idol, remember we were all like, wait, that's Paula Abdul as a judge? Paula Abdul was the Laker girl choreographer, pop star. Everyone loved Paula Abdul. I know you're going to say it was probably only 5 to 10 years, but she dipped away.
You loved MC Scat Cat.
And all of a sudden became the superstar, judge on American Idol with Paul, with Randy Jackson and Simon Cowell. Like, Paula Abdul had a big comeback.
Rich's favorite rapper was MC Scat Cat. He's waiting for the MC Scat Cat comeback.
Still waiting.
Now we'll wrap it up with your phone calls. The greatest comeback. Let's do something we call crossfire.
Crossfire!
Get caught up in the crossfire. Like, make it quick so that we can move on and talk LeBron James. 877-99 on Fox.
You brought up Crossfire as a toy. Are there any toys or things that made a
He-Man
comeback?
tried to make a
don't
comeback.
you open up a whole subgenre here.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I was gonna say,
Man, we're trying to close this topic.
Like, I was gonna say, is there something like,
Erector set.
like are Mad Balls making a comeback? Remember Mad Balls?
Micro Machines.
Rubik's Cubes made a comeback.
That
You
is
see
true.
Kids at middle schools across the country with Rubik's Cubes.
Damn.
Yeah, they come and go. I mean, I haven't seen like Simon in a few years. Remember all the stupid things.
We're talking about people, though, Rich.
Yeah, Trouble with the Pop-O-Matic bubble. All right, but let's go back to the phones and wrap this up.
Yeah.
Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio, in for Dan Patrick, and then we'll talk LeBron. So who do we got?
The answer you're trying to beat for the prize, Rick Moranis from
Rick
Chris.
Moranis, a good one, yeah.
All right, let's go to Texas Doug.
What up, Dougie?
Hey, guys, love the show. DeMar Hamlin, he literally died on the field.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Great comeback.
I know.
Dead to alive. Yeah, okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Fair.
It should beat Rick Moranis, but I don't feel that it does, but it should.
Okay.
It should, yeah.
How about those
Clever.
online stories about how it was really a clone of him that we're seeing now?
I know. I remember talking about that with you. Who else we got?
All right, let's go to Cincy. Jamie.
Hey, guys. Thank you. Happy 4th.
Back at you, bro.
All right. So I'm thinking, I'm like, man, and it goes, and I know I'm a homer because I'm in Cincinnati, but Joe Burrow getting kicked out of Ohio State, where it took his dad to actually ask the coach if he's even going to play. So then he goes to LSU. He comes back, wins the national title. His rookie season in Cincinnati, he gets his knee basically displaced from his whole body, and the next season goes to the Super Bowl. And then to do the trifecta, he tears something in his wrist, a ligament or something, leads the NFL the following year in touchdowns or yards, I believe, both. But, that's 3 comebacks for a pretty good quarterback.
Burrow is one of those guys that you don't need to be a Bengals fan to root for him. He's like one of those good dudes in the league I think everyone pulls for. So you're right. I'll give you that one. It's no Rick Moranis, but okay.
All right, let's go to Adam in Connecticut.
Hi, I'm thinking about Vinny Pazienza, the boxer from '91 who got into a car accident, broke his neck. Doctors said he would never fight again, let alone walk again. He was in the ring 13 months later.
You know what, man? It's a great answer because I also said the same thing. So great minds think alike. But no, I mean, I'm glad to hear that other people remember what he did. Some people forget. In fact, his movie was pretty good if you want to check it out. But the dude literally had like bolts in his neck. Like he had a broken neck. It's insane that he came back from that.
I mean, I know it was against Gina Carano and it was only like 10 seconds, but Ronda Rousey had a nice whole comeback earlier this year, right?
I mean, if you have a financial comeback for sure.
Yeah.
She made her money. So who else do we got? Great call, by the way. Thank you, man.
Jason in South Florida.
Jason, South Florida. What's up?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
We're good, man. What's up?
So my pick would be Steve-O, because in the early to mid-2000s, he was on every kind of drug you can think of. He was a sex addict, and he's been sober about 15 years now. He's got a very successful podcast. He's still doing movies with crazy stunts that can literally end his life.
Yeah,
That's a good
Jackass movie just came out. It debuted number 4, but everybody loves
That's
it.
a good one.
And the only downside is he sounds like Whoopi Goldberg now. Have you heard this side by side? Same voice. Yeah, same voice. Look it up online. But yeah, very happy for him. The guy kept his career going, man.
I know that you wish that the number one answer, and I'm with you. You were sort of hoping that He-Man was in this category, but it was a box office flop.
It was a box office flop, but Amazon's behind it, and it's going to live when it starts streaming, and they're going to make a series out of it. So it's not done yet. They're putting a lot into it, and I hope it comes back.
Yeah.
Who else, Danny?
Let's go to Kent in Alabama.
Can anyone beat Rick Moranis, Kent?
What's up, Kent?
Chance, maybe?
Oh, is your name Chance?
Yeah, my name's
Oh,
Chance.
sorry about
Yeah,
that.
Chance. Oh, it's all good.
What's up, buddy?
Man, I had an actor and an athlete, man. I'm gonna go. All right, I'm gonna go actor, I guess. All right, so he was kind of famous, you know. Women loved him. Matthew McConaughey. He did a bunch of rom-coms, but he did not blow up and become great until he did True Detective, and he's gone down to be one of the greatest actors of all time. He was just known as a rom-com guy. And my athlete would be Mike Vick. Going to prison, doing what he did. He came back and had his best years after the dogfighting and prison sentence.
I think Mike Vick's a great answer. It's just the fact that, you know, there's always going to be people who are like, I still hate him. And we already said that, yeah.
We talked about him last hour.
Danny G, you're a big Raiders fan, and I know it's such a sensitive subject because of the terrible accident. But do you think Henry Ruggs will get a chance in the NFL?
Yeah, it's a really tough one. The one thing that I didn't know until I heard Max Crosby speak on it, Crosby was saying that Ruggs was such a good locker room guy and such a decent human being and made one bad mistake one night where he was drinking at Topgolf and decided to get behind the wheel and then speed. So you're talking about a guy that was not troubled, just made a really horrible
Not to pat ourselves on the
mistake.
back, but Rich
Like
and
one catastrophic mistake, and you're right. And we've interviewed him.
I was just going to say that. We interviewed him. He seemed like such a nice young man. Are you defined by one terrible moment? Unfortunately, he is, and it'd be cool to see a comeback. But man, what he did was a colossal mistake. You know, so unfortunate.
When
he
someone
did
dies
appear to be a great young man, and it's such a that's what makes
when
it such a
somebody
terrible
loses
story.
their life, it changes everything.
Changes everything.
It changes the narrative. And you know what though, Danny? He was denied parole, but I think in a year they think we'll see what happens. So who knows?
All right. So hey, Rich.
One last call?
We'll take one last phone call and talk LeBron. Who do we got?
All right, let's wrap it up with Aaron in South Bend.
What's up, Aaron?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I have kind of like it's almost like a legacy comeback. All right, so Jacob Noel coming back to lead sing on Sublime.
Dude.
One of the greatest musical comebacks, and to take the reins from Bradley, it's pretty magical.
Have you heard the new album? Covino turned me on to the new album, and Covino could speak best on this. That album, it's like he almost captured the spirit of his dad.
I mean, you said it. That's exactly what I've been screaming about. It's like as if Bradley Noel left this album and the lyrics for his son to record in the future. It's so sublime. And there's so many great songs on Until the Sun Explodes, the new album. If you like Sublime even a little bit, or you're looking for some good new summer songs, Until the Sun Explodes really does capture the essence, I'll use a different word, of Sublime to its core. And of course you're like, oh, but that's his son. It's his son, and it's like identical. It's just craziness. It's very good. So
identical.
Great call. Thank you, guys. And I think the winner is Rick Moranis, right, Danny G? Great answers.
I think so. Yeah, great calls. Chris, congratulations. I'll be calling you to get your address.
But
and
hey,
info.
never fear. We give away prizes almost every day because we want to bribe some listeners.
In fact, tomorrow, Brainwave is a game we play, and we'll have another prize pack to give away.
Nice. So join us tomorrow for the summer prize pack, which includes the grilling apron, the Fox Sports Radio Covino Rich grilling apron, koozies, and more. And thank you. There goes another lucky winner.
Nice, man. Now, coming up, you said you wanted to mention LeBron. I still had that hypothetical about Taylor Swift and the Knicks, so we'll choose our own adventure next. And we are in the middle of the Dan Patrick hat trick, 3 in a row, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So thanks for hanging with us. Hopefully you're having a great 4th of July early weekend. More Covino and Rich next right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, we're Covino and Rich from Fox Sports Radio, and you watch the drivers.
You watch the cars.
But these are the people that make race day happen.
Veterans and military families you've never heard of.
This is Unsung Heroes. Take a look.
Around the track, there are military veterans who never stopped serving, only changed uniforms.
There are definitely similarities between the NASCAR industry and the military.
You have the ability to work as a team. That's a big part of what you learn while you're in the military.
I learned from the military, communication is how to convey the point and still get the mission done.
I learned that it's just adapting on the fly to the situations that are presented during the race.
At NASCAR, veterans help keep the race moving on the track. Across the country, they're answering another call to serve in local communities. Vet the Vote is a national campaign recruiting veterans and military family members to serve again as poll workers in their state and local elections.
It's kind of nice to continue to give back for a better America for our kids and everybody around us.
Learn more and continue your service at vetthee.vote/NASCAR.
Take Sweeney over the pride of our country. You should be embarrassed. My question is this. We briefly talked about what is it about soccer that while we really could get wrapped up in the World Cup and the Olympics every, handful of years, why is soccer not part of our day-to-day love like football or basketball or Major League Baseball? And we were trying to speculate. We came up with a multitude of reasons.
Again, we were painting in broad strokes, but that's what we realized. It's not one solid reason. There's multiple reasons.
Now, I wanted to give you a hypothetical that just proves that we don't necessarily care.
And again, does that matter?
No, because it's still fun.
Not at all, because millions and millions and millions and billions of people do care. So the world does not revolve around the U.S. caring. Soccer's doing just fine.
So let me give you a hypothetical, and then I'll explain why I think no one really cares that much. What's up, Profet?
In the United States.
I was going to say, this isn't as the one who claimed biggest soccer fan here in Fox Sports Radio last week. This isn't something that's that unknown to the rest of the world. I think there's this assumption that the rest of the world is also soccer crazy and it's 24/7. That's kind of a minority. Like England obviously is, but I would wager like most South Africans, most Czechens, like outside of their national team, there might be like 10% of that population that cares about their domestic leagues or whatever, but no.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
most just don't care about sports.
I've watched Ted Lasso, all right? No, but
England's different.
My thought is this. Just to prove the reality of how we're in it, it's exciting. We love sport. We love sports, right? So you'll watch, like Covino said, he'll watch a bug fight. He'll watch, a wildlife video of a kangaroos boxing.
That's true.
When you love sports, you love sports. You'll watch anything. I'll watch darts or bowling or cornhole, for God's sakes. Like, you'll watch anything. You'll get invested. But if I said right now, what would you rather? Team USA shock the world and win the whole thing? Or the Yankees go on a nice playoff run, not even win the World Series?
Ooh.
You'd be like, yo, Yankees make a playoff run.
I don't know.
If I said
playoff, if you said World Series, that's an easy answer.
If I said Danny G, what would you rather? The U.S. shock the world and win the World Cup, or the Raiders make the playoffs this year?
I think you know the answer to that.
You'd say the Raiders. So how could we say we care if you pick your team to just make the postseason?
Doesn't mean we don't care, though.
But where it lies in our interests. If I said, Danny G, Dodgers win another World Series, or the U.S. wins World Cup.
I'm spoiled with the Dodgers back-to-back, so I'd go Team USA on that one.
I am a Lions fan, and I think, I don't know, I can juggle and shoot.
You're hearing New Sublime, the son of Bradley Knoll, Jacob
It's so wild, dude. It's so wild because it sounds exactly like his dad. Identical. Like
Not
crazy.
even the sound, the spirit of it. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
as a fan, it's like you're listening to the son of a legend. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studio, it's Covino and Rich in for Dan Patrick. Everyone's searching for ways to save on insurance. Switch to Liberty Mutual, and they'll customize your auto and home insurance so you only pay for what you need. Liberty, liberty, liberty. Liberty.
You got to sing it, bro. Come on.
Liberty, liberty, liberty. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent. I'm Covino. That is Rich. I do want to say USA, USA, USA. So thank you and congrats.
Red card my ass.
We talked about all the controversy first hour, and if you missed anything, if you want to be part of it, you want to chime in, everything at Covino and Rich, but you could listen to the podcast or just watch the show again at Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube. That's where we stream live, and we do it one more day tomorrow for the hat trick, the Dan Patrick hat trick.
Cove, we had a really fun conversation. We could have gone for hours talking about all these great comeback stories in sports and entertainment and music and pop culture. Honestly, it could have been a 2-hour conversation. I thought of even a few more during the break. Bree hit us up, and she said, Robert Downey Jr., and I said, that's what started the conversation. That was early on. Big Mike, who runs this place?
Who?
Has no one mentioned Brendan Fraser?
He did.
That's a great one.
That is a good one.
But
the
you know,
whale
there's
is a big comeback, and now he's
Cove,
fit again.
Cove, there's a whole category we never even got to, which was like trends, like champion sweatshirts were like popular when we were little boys, and then the Kardashians wear one 30 years later, and they're popular. If you go to the beach, besides all the cheeks you see, women are wearing like high-waisted stuff like it's the 80s again, and you have a teenage daughter, Cove. All their fascinations with technology, like flip phones and landlines and vinyl records, like there's a fascination with those type of things, right?
I love a good comeback story, man. Yes, kids are like tangible, and they want a digital photo because the ones on their phone are too high quality. They want low quality photos. So, yeah, this all came from Lindsay Lohan. It's her birthday. She's 40. She's back. She looks great. So we discussed the biggest comeback stories in sports and entertainment, and of course there's crazy layers to the conversation if you want to expand. But I know you want to talk Taylor Swift. Rich always has a burning desire to bring any conversation back to Taylor Swift. So we'll talk LeBron James because they're both equally eye rolls, right? Not everyone wants to hear about LeBron James either. So we do have a bonus pod called Overpromised where we get to things we overpromise. The debate today with LeBron James is basically, and it's all over social media because everyone's wondering what his what was the word, legacy is with the Lakers. Like, what was his impact? I mean, he won a championship. And if your stupid opinion is, no, he didn't, he did. That's a fact. If you don't give credit to the bubble, that's just your opinion. The fact is he won.
Well, if you don't think the bubble counted, that is not only your opinion, it's your weak ass opinion because
it's just an opinion.
Counts
because it counted and he won. And that's fine. You're entitled to your weak ass opinion. But he won, so people are like, well, what's his legacy? And the debate, and I'm just going to leave this as a nugget. We could talk Taylor Swift. The question is, should the Lakers retire his number, and should he get a statue, or maybe one or the other? Like, is he statue-worthy? Is he jersey-worthy? Where does he stand?
Maybe we pick that conversation up tomorrow. I mean, we do have a fun Friday Dan Patrick.
So how about think about that, and maybe we'll get more updates as the day continues on what his future's looking like.
Well, I'm glad you left me 1 minute to talk about Taylor, which, by the way, I'm not a huge Taylor Swiftie. I'm just saying the fact that the Knicks, the starting five.
Yeah, perfect amount of time. Good.
The starting five were invited to her wedding. Do you go, if you're OG or if you're Brunson, do you say, hey, it's a 1,000-person venue where like Paul McCartney and all these random people are going to perform. It's probably like this huge party. Are you going?
It depends what what do I got going on? These are
What can you
famous
possibly? What
Hold
can you
on.
possibly
These are-
have?
You would go. I would go. These are celebrity people with lives. They're not. They saw her on the court side. Like maybe they don't really care that much. They don't live that life. But yes, I would go.
All right. The same way Taylor Swift wanted to sit courtside alongside all these other celebrities, you don't think any of them would be like, yo, babe, let's go. We got invited to Taylor Swift's
I think
wedding.
You always want to be in the room where it happens. This is going to be a big, huge pop culture event, whether you like her or not, whether you care or not. So I would say 4 out of the 5 go. That's my prediction.
Okay, hey, we'll get to that and more next tomorrow. We'll see you guys then. Enjoy your day. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye, everybody.
USA! USA!
USA!
USA! Ah.